the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Up, it's our boy Coach Malachi Williams in the building. Yes, sir. We back. New Media Today USA Boxing. We back. New Media Today USA Boxing, man. It is what it is, man. Salute to everybody out there that's watching this show. For this is a show. This is a show. Oh, boy. Guys, I wish that there's a lot of things that I would love to share with you guys, man. But a lot of you guys think that I'm crazy or cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I do understand the psychology of people, so to a degree, you know what I mean, with a GED education, but I learned from the best. I learned from experience in life. But I'm not here to philosophize for everybody. I'm just going to go along with the script, and we're going to make it do what it do. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Hold on, let me hit my trusted roadcaster. Give everybody a round of applause. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the like button for the old boy. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the like button for the old boy. Once again, New Media Today USA Boxing. Hey, man, it is what it is, man. 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 6-7 days a week, depending on how I feel. I've been going 7 days for the past few weeks, but it is what it is. We're going to let everybody give YouTube time to send the notifications out there on the Chitlin circuit. Let everybody know that we're on. We are consistent. 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Let's get into this, man. Let's get into this. Now, there's a whole lot of fake news going on today. And now, there's a whole lot of stuff I can talk about. But I'm gonna debunk these fake news stories that's going on out there, one story at a time. Very easy to do. Because the people who say sources say they're lying. Anytime you see somebody on the show, YouTube, whatever, anywhere, so what sources say, they're making this shit up. Literally, you know what I mean? They just making it up, putting their spin on it. And I guess there's nothing wrong with that shit, you know. If you got a narrative you got to push for the sake of showmanship, then you make it do what it do. Especially when you have a group of people who are already programmed, that's been programmed for years. But that's neither here nor there. Let me go ahead and I know y'all say this dude all over the place. I really am not all over the place. I'm at one centralized place, but the way my brain works, this is the way my brain works, guys. Some people think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I'll start one place, and then I go to another place, and then I jump to another place and another place, right? So it seems like I'm all over the place, when actuality, the different places that I'm jumping to are all connected to the same place. Maybe it's a Capricorn thing. I am a Capricorn, I don't know. But it is what it is. Shout out to Paul Evans. Hey, okay. Shout out to Ava. Hey, okay. Shout out to my main man, Hector Garcia. Hey, okay. And it's not the weed. I promise you, it's not the weed. I know what I'm talking about. Shout out to Rod Rib Shows. Hey, okay. Shout out to, let's see, who else we got? Shout out to the Queen Lisa Bell. Hey, okay. Shout out to John Mayfield. Hey, okay. He says fake news must have been reported by the Alphabet Boys. You already know. Car ain't got no roof. John, you're a very smart guy, my brother. Hey, okay. Hey, shout out to Javon Soto. Hey, okay. Shout out to Thomas Jones. What's up, bro? Hey, okay. Hey, Con in the building. Hey, okay. Shout out to GB Guthrie. What's happening? Hey, okay. Shout out to Chick. What's up, bro? Hey, okay. Shout out to Leon Musa. What the lick read? Hey, okay. Shout out to Oyanda. What's happening? Hey, okay. Shout out to George H. Hey, okay. Shout out to David. What's going on, bro? Hey, okay. Shout out to Lil Bullet. Lil Bullet don't shoot nobody. Hey, okay. Idell. What's going on? Hey, okay. Shout out to who else we have? Arm. Is that the right arm or the left arm? Hey, okay. Shout out to Boxing Clever. What's going on, fam? Hey, okay. Shout out to Brian Harkin. What the lick read? Hey, okay. Shout out to Mr. One. Shout out to the one, Mr. Ham. Hey, okay. Mr. Ham said that real country just did. Hey, okay. Old country boy from Florida, man. From Florida, not Florida, Florida. Hey, okay. Shout out to let's see. Sources say. Shout out to KB. Hey, okay. Shout out to Lee. Lee, what's going on, fam? Hey, Shout out to my main man, Huggy Bear, Diallo Huggy. Shout out to Leon Musa once again, JH Lethal. Shout out to Scants Rants. Shout out to Topin Town. What's going on, bro? Shout out to Male Bogo. Shout out to James, Double James. What's up, bro? Adam Beanie. Peter Reeves. Shout out to, I think that's it. I think we got everything, everybody. Miguel Gomez, shout out to my brother Retro Boss in the documentaries. And it is what it is. Let's get into this, guys. We're going to make this nice and sweet today. Nice and sweet. We ain't going to play no games. We ain't going to fake no moves, and we're not going to pump fake. It is what it is. I'm going to just address it, and we're going to move on and talk about some boxing talk. But I just want to show you guys that, you can, there's a lot of stuff out. My little short 47 years of living on the planet, I've experienced a lot of things in life. But as it relates to this particular subject matter, this is very, very easy. I'm gonna break this shit down. When I say these guys operate on a really lower scale, it's so easy for me to do. It's really nothing because I get it. Trust me, I do get it. But anyways, fake news, guys. You saw the title list, right? Fake news. You know what I mean? Dillian Whyte does not have to fight Deontay Wilder. He does not have to fight Deontay Wilder for Tyson Fury for Tyson Fury's WBC heavyweight championship belt if he vacates. This is a story that was put out there by the good brother Blue Blood Sports TV. I'm here to debunk it. Not only debunk it, but to show you that this is a bold-faced lie, and this guy knows it. Either he knows it, or either he knows it's a bold-faced lie and he's just lying, which that is pretty much what I suspect, or he really is just that naive. Either way it goes, I'm here to debunk it, and I got a whole lot of stuff out to debunk. I am the narrative killer. You know what I mean? So all of those who push narratives, they don't like me, but that's fine. That's fine. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything, right? It is what it is. You gotta have thick skin and tough skin to do this. This YouTube stuff is easy, but you gotta have tough skin to just be able to stand up on the paint and just tell it like it is without worrying about whatever consequences may come down the pipeline. That's neither here nor there. Anyways, now, as I said before, Dillian Whyte does not have to fight Deontay Wilder just in case Tyson Fury vacates his belt. Now, there's rumors going around that, hey, sources say, or whatever the case may be, where Frank Warren said this, which he did say some things. John Fury said that, which he did say some things. That Tyson Fury is afraid of Dillian Whyte, and he's going to duck Dillian Whyte, and he'd rather duck Dillian Whyte than fight him. So what he's going to do, he's going to just drop the belt, vacate the belt, going to go off into retirement, and he's going to go about his merry way because he is afraid of Dillian Whyte. Now, I'm not here to defend Tyson Fury. He needs no defense. He's a multimillionaire. He's living well with his wife and kids, right? But what I am going to do is this here. I'm going to point out the bullshit within this story, right? We don't know if Fury is going to retire or not. We don't know if Fury is going to duck Dillian Whyte or not. I brought this question up a while ago. What you guys will learn about me is I ask questions and I lay seeds throughout different videos, throughout different shows. If you watch me, study me long enough, you'll know that I always lay seeds throughout different shows, and then I'll come right back around maybe a week later, 2 weeks later, and I tie it up in a nice little bow, and I say, hey, listen, remember I said this? Remember I said that? Oh, here goes a receipt here. Here goes a receipt there. I show receipts because I'm trying to show an overall picture of something. Right? I'm finna show you, and I'm finna show you something, right? But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into this. Now, a fake news report by our good brother, Blue Blood Sports TV, says that Dillian Whyte faked an injury, which we know Dillian Whyte, he says he hurt his shoulder, and this is why he's not fighting Odo Wallin, right? He faked the arm injury. He faked the shoulder injury, right? In order to force Fury to drop his belt. Now, let's stop right there. Not only am I not making this up, I have the receipt. I'm going to show it to you. Right? If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. Right? So here we go. So basically, Dillian Whyte concocted a scheme to say, hey, you know what? I don't want to fight Odo Wallin. I'm going to fake my shoulder injury. So what I can do is I'm going to pressure Tyson Fury, since the WBC mandated that, ordered that, Tyson Fury is going to have to fight the interim champion, which is Dillian Whyte. And we have 90 days to make a deal. Tyson Fury is currently on medical suspension after having a fight with Deontay Wilder for 45 days. And Deontay Wilder is on medical suspension for 6 months. So he's not scheduled to even come back to boxing until April, right? This show has nothing to do with Deontay Wilder at all, really nothing to do with Tyson Fury, but I want to point out the lie or lies within the story. Let's do this. Let me pull my pad out. Pull out my trusted pad. Yeah. Pull out my trusted pad. I say I have 6 points I need to make for this show. Then we're going to move on. Check it out, though, right? Now, assuming that Tyson Fury would do such a thing as to retire or drop the belt because he doesn't want to fight Dillian Whyte, assuming that happens, so that Whyte can then become the WBC champion and avoid fighting Deontay Wilder for the vacant belt if Fury decides to do so. Let's go ahead and do this, man. Shout out to High and Low Sportstrom.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said the channel where sports really matters. Yes, sir. The channel where boxing really matters. Yeah, boxing really matters over here, right? But assuming that Tyson Fury would do that, I have no proof that he would do it. We haven't heard him do anything until it actually happens. If it happens, then speculation is just what it is, speculation. But, when you try to bring speculation in a way to make it look like it's the truth or that this is a credible source or whatever the case may be, this is why I debunk the narrative. So let's go, guys. Now, assuming that Fury would do such a thing so that Dillian Whyte can then become the new WBC heavyweight champion of the world and avoid fighting Deontay Wilder for the vacant belt if Fury decides to do so. Let's stop right there. Let's keep going on. Now, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit if I ever heard of some, right? This is a narrative that's being pushed to keep Wilder's name in the mix after his loss to Tyson Fury. Has nothing to do with Deontay Wilder. I don't think so. And if it did, I don't have any proof of it anyways, but we're not going to make this about the brother. The only problem with this fake news story and bold-faced lie, because that's what it is that we don't know if Tyson Fury would decide to defend his title and drop the belt because nothing has been official at the moment. There's nothing official about any of this. So for me to sit back and say, hey, man, this is what's going to happen and this is yada, 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 it's just being disingenuous on top of everything, right? Now, the only problem with this fake news story, as I said before, but let's just say this. Let me just skip straight to the chase, right? But if Tyson Fury did decide, guys, to drop the belt because he doesn't want to fight Dillian Whyte, right? And then by Dillian Whyte being the WBC Interim Champion, guess what will happen, guys? Dillian Whyte will automatically be elevated to the new WBC champion. Per what? Per the rules of the 4 major sanctioning bodies. If you are a interim champion and the champion refuses to fight you, guess what? If he gets stripped, drop the belt, do whatever, he's going to get elevated. And I have the proof to show you that, right? Now, and to prove my point, I do have receipts. Now, what I'm not going to do is make this a story. And what I'm not going to do, guys, is this here. Is make up a story, right, when I don't have the actual facts. And I'm not going to present it to you guys as truth when I know that I'm lying. Not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, right? I'm just saying me. You know what I mean? I can't speak for nobody else, but I'm not going to do it, right? This is why I don't like fanboys, and this is why I don't like pushing narratives, because when you push narratives and choose sides, when you choose anything other than the sport of boxing as relate to boxing, and you choose different personalities and certain characters and stuff like that, you compromise pretty much the truth of the situation of the matter. And the people just want the truth. Boxing fans, people who love the sport of boxing, you just want the truth. You don't want the narrative, right? I will hope so. But what I do know is this. Once the original champion, guys, is able to return at his discretion, this is what I know, right? At his discretion, you see what I'm saying? When the original champion returns at his discretion, right? The sanctioning bodies then will say, hey, you got to fight the number 1 contender, or you got to fight the guy that's the interim champion. This is how it goes. All 4 sanctioning bodies do the same thing. You know what I mean? They're supposed to anyways, right? Now, whoever the interim champion is, once he is fighting for the championship, the main belt, right? He will then relinquish his interim title. in order to fight for the full world title. This is how it works. So what do I mean by that, right? So if the original champion cannot return, let's say this story is true, and the original champion cannot return, Tyson Fury, we're just going to put him there. If the original champion, Tyson Fury, can't return, you know what I mean? Or he refuses to defend his title, as this guy is insinuating, right? Or if he transfers to a different weight division, I don't see Tyson Fury transferring to cruiserweight, so he's going to stay there, right? The interim champion is then promoted to the full championship status. The interim champion does not have to fight another fighter. The interim champion does not have to fight someone that's the number one contender. If the real champion decides not to fight the interim champion and he relinquishes his belt or drop his belt, the belt is vacant, and the interim champion has to fight the number one contender, who is now Deontay Wilder, but he won't be able to fight till April, who is now Deontay Wilder, and in order to fight for that vacant belt. This is a lie. Anyone who's saying this is lying. Facts. Guess what? Not only am I going to show facts, I'm going to show you the receipts. I'm not the sources say guy. I'm the receipts guy. I like to come with receipts, right? So let's do this. Now, this is a fact, as I said before. So the lie that's currently being pushed by our good brother, Blue Blood Sports TV, is in fact fake news, i.e. the title of the show. Either the brother is misinformed, ignorant to the rules, or he is intentionally lying to his fan base in order to push a fake or false narrative that is simply not true because of his loyalty to Deontay Wilder and his hatred towards Dillian Whyte and Eddie Hearns. Let's talk about this, guys. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. Shout out to the Boxing Wave for dropping that half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Boxing Wave, what you say, fam? He say, someone told me the other day that Usyk needs to fight Wilder to earn his title shot against Fury. Wow. Hey, man, it's a lot of people, man, that's very easy to be deceived. Fact of the matter is, we don't know. But I will say this. I know a lie when I hear one. And I'm going to show you guys. He say, since did the WBC follow their own rulings? They make up stuff as they go along, contradictions. That is true. They do make up stuff as they go along. But since they do make up stuff as they go along, guess what? Not only the WBC do that, but there are some channels who do that as well. I'm just pointing out the fact that what they have in the rules, now if they decide to do something differently, so be it. But what I'm not going to do is say this is what they are going to do and this is what's going to happen when I know that's a bold-faced lie. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm not going to do. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm not going to do. Right? So I'm just, that's all I'm saying. Shout out to Smith & West.
Hey, okay.
So let's show the receipts. Let's go here, guys. Let's go here. Let's see our good brother. I don't want y'all thinking I'm capping the line and shit. So let me go ahead and do it. Our good brother. Y'all can support the brother if you want to. The good brother. Shocking. Dillian Whyte fake injury to force Fury to drop belt. How does Dillian Whyte faking an injury, quote unquote, is going to force Tyson Fury to drop the belt? So he's insinuating that Tyson Fury would drop the belt because he's afraid to fight Dillian Whyte. I have no proof of that, but this is what he's insinuating. So by Dillian Whyte faking an injury, he's forcing Tyson Fury to drop belt at the same time, avoid Deontay Wilder. This everything in this title is a goddamn lie. He might be smoking some of the same shit that I've been smoking. Some of that good green. So here it goes. So Dillian Whyte fake injury. We established that, right? Allegedly. To force Tyson Fury to drop a belt. How does Dillian Whyte faking an injury is going to force Tyson Fury to do anything? I have no idea. But let's keep going. But I know what he's insinuating, right? I can see it right in that part that's right in his head. So to drop belt and at the same time avoid Deontay Wilder. What the Wilder got to do with Dillian Whyte faking an injury to force Tyson Fury to do something? But then we're going to tie Deontay Wilder into this. Oh, boy. He said, no, coach. He said Fury won't be motivated to fight Whyte. I saw this whole interview. I know exactly what he said. I'm going to play snippets of it. I saw the whole interview. But the title, I saw the whole interview, bro. I saw the entire interview twice to make sure that I heard what I heard and to make sure that I understand what I understood or have an understanding of the understanding. But that's neither here nor there. You see what I'm saying? Let's keep going on. All right, so now what the brother is saying, let's see. At the 2-minute mark, he says that Dillian Whyte is the interim champion, right? And he is not mandated by the WBC. Listen, this is what I'm saying. Dillian Whyte is the interim champion, right? And he is not mandated by the WBC to fight Oda Wallin. I think I addressed this already, but I'm going to address it one more time. Dillian Whyte is not mandated by the WBC to fight Oda Wallin, right? Whyte and Fury were given 90 days to come up with an agreement on a fight because Dillian Whyte has been waiting for 25 years to fight for the title. And, Tyson Fury is the champion. Dillian Whyte is the interim champion. So the WBC decided to maybe go by their rules this one time and say, hey, man, y'all got 90 days to work something out, right? But now the fight between Whyte and Fury is not contingent upon the outcome of Dillian Whyte and Oda Wallin. Let me go ahead and pull this up, guys. Let's pull this up. I do not own the rights to this material. If you guys want to check it out, you can check it out yourself. Get a brother some watch time hours if you want to. But I don't own the rights to any of this material. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, though. And we're going to talk about Shakur Stevenson as well. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's see. Where is the history? History. Let's look at all of it. Let's keep going down, guys. Let's keep going down. There we go.
We're here for the gearhead
And
the Globetrotters.
we're gonna go to the 2-minute mark because I wanna bet. Somebody gave me a super chat. Okay. Shout out to Anthony C. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He says, I don't think a lot of these YouTubers who fake stuff believe what they say. I think they do it for easy clickbaits and views. No effort, just views. And guess what? It works. It works. It does work. Now, let's go to about the 2-minute mark. It works. It does work. I ain't gonna lie. Now, it's a really good business model. Not gonna lie. It's a really good business model. So I get it. That's why I say I can't hate on it. I ain't knocking the hustle. But anyway, let's go. Let's go.
For the WBC title, okay? And once he became the mandatory challenger, the winner, he himself and Oda Wallin, October 30th, would fight against Tyson Fury.
This is lie number one.
The nip and tuck fight gets to the 11th round, and he brutally knocks out Deontay Wilder in the 11th round. With that said, Tyson Fury has successfully defended his titles for the first time in his career. Dillian Whyte, the day of the fight, Dillian Whyte has been, pegged as the mandatory challenger for the WBC title. Okay, and
Dillian Whyte is the interim champion, and the interim champion has to fight if the sanctioning bodies go by their rules. The interim champion, whoever has the belt, has to fight the interim champion. That's what makes you a fighter have title defenses. People like Muhammad Ali, every time they was the champion, they had to fight the next guy in line, the number one contender, stuff like that. And Lennox Lewis done it throughout the history of boxing. This is how it goes. So just in case you guys didn't know.
Once he became the mandatory challenger, the winner, he himself and Oda Wallin, October 30th, would fight against Tyson Fury. Now, we know Oda Wallin, he's already fought Tyson Fury and lost to Tyson.
All right, so we're going to stop right there. That's all y'all needed to hear right there. So now, the winner of Dillian Whyte and Oda Wallin does not have to fight Tyson Fury. Dillian Whyte is already in the position to fight Tyson Fury because he is the interim champion. And Mauricio Suleiman, which you know how I feel about that guy, stated probably a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, or even before the Wilder Fury fight, he said that, hey, listen, man, whoever, because as you know, Dillian Whyte has sued this guy and he's been pressing this guy. Hey, listen, man, I've been here for 1,000 years, and you guys I have not been able to fight for the title yet. So this is what this is all about. So Dillian Whyte finalmente, he's going to have a chance in order to fight Tyson Fury for the belt. Now, I don't know if Tyson Fury is going to retire. I don't know if Tyson Fury is going to drop the belt. I have no proof of none of that. So since I have no proof of none of that, I have no motivation to even push that narrative, because if I push that narrative, I would be lying. You know why I would be lying? Because I don't have any actual facts that anything that I would say as it relates to that narrative is true. So this guy here says, Aram said White isn't the mandatory. Okay. He says, I'm not sure if it's worse, these guys saying blatant lies or people believing it. You know, I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. Take what you want to say. Believe who you want to believe. Believe Bob Arum, believe Mauricio Suleiman, believe the Alphabet Boys, believe who you want to believe. That's not my position to make you believe. My position is to lay it out there the way I see it. You can make your own judgment. Really doesn't matter to me. I have no emotional investment in it at all. But let's keep going. So the brother said that that fight is contingent upon the winner of Otto Wallin and Dillian Whyte fight will have to fight Tyson Fury. That's not true. That's not true, sir. So now let's see. At the 4:15 mark, he says because Wilder has been elevated to the number one position in the WBC, right? I think you guys know this already, right? Deontay Wilder has been elevated to the number one position at the WBC. Let's pull that up just in case don't nobody know that. I don't like to say stuff. I like to show the receipts. I want you to physically see it. I want you to physically see it so, you know, it won't be no, yeah, he said it, but he ain't showed us no proof. All right, so we are going to Oh, I already had it up. My bad. I already had it up. Didn't even realize it. All right, so you can physically see it. So let's go to the 4:15 mark. He says that Wilder has been elevated to the number one position, which is true by the WBC. That means if Fury retires and White doesn't fight Wallin, then White would have to fight Deontay Wilder for the vacant WBC strap. That's lie number 2 out of the many. Let's keep going. I'm going to prove you guys. Let's go.
United Kingdom promoter who promotes Tyson Fury, he came out and he stated that Tyson Fury has zero interest in the sport of boxing. He don't want to talk boxing. He don't want to be involved in boxing. He don't want anything to do with boxing. And Frank Warren says they'll later revisit.
This video is about Dillian Whyte. This show is about Dillian Whyte.
The possibility of trying to talk him back in the ring, but he says that you'll see Tyson Fury back in the ring, okay? But he can't guarantee it. So, with that said,
so he's going out the assumption that, hey, you know, Frank Warren said this, Frank Warren said that. Frank Warren said that he don't know if Tyson Fury is going to come back to the ring, so they're going to run with that narrative. But then, you know, but we don't know for sure. But you might see Tyson Fury come back to the ring later on down the line. So if we are to assume, based on something that Frank Warren said, which he gave mixed messages, that, hey, Tyson Fury is going to retire because he's afraid of Dillian Whyte. Or he's going to retire because he's not motivated, which that could be a case. We don't know. And he wants to avoid Dillian Whyte at all costs. That's the narrative.
Here's where it gets dicey. The WBC, World Boxing Council, President Mauricio Suleiman, they elevated Deontay Wilder back to number 1 in the WBC ranking system, right? This all in hopes, I mean, not in hopes, but this all in security, right? This is plan B. If case Tyson Fury vacates the title, then Dillian Whyte will have to fight Tyson Fury for the vacant WBC title. Okay.
Now, what he meant to say was, they elevated Deontay Wilder to number 1, as you can see right here. So the narrative is they meaning Mauricio Suleiman, elevated Deontay Wilder to number 1. The reason why he elevated Deontay Wilder to number 1, because Mauricio Suleiman has a plan, you know, and that just in case Tyson Fury was to vacate this belt or retire, which if he retires, this will leave the belt vacant, that Dillian Whyte would have to fight Deontay Wilder for the WBC strap. This is what he's saying. Now, this is very easy for me to debunk. I'm going to show you the debunk in a minute. Just bear with me. Let's see what this brother got to say, though.
Now, here's where it gets very interesting. Deontay Wilder has a medical suspension of 6 months. So Deontay Wilder, he can't fight for 6 months, okay? Dillian Whyte knows this, okay? Dillian Whyte's team, Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn, they know this, okay? He can't fight until at least the next 6 months, which means he's going to be on the shelf until March.
All right, he ain't really talk about nothing, right? He just giving his little soliloquy to try to lay down the case of what's going on. So basically what he's saying, guys, is that Dillian Whyte is trying to fake an injury to avoid Otto Wallin so that he can push up on Tyson Fury to force Tyson Fury to fight him. If he doesn't fight him, then he's going to have to drop the belt. And if he drops the belt, then hopefully that he can get the belt. But according to this brother, that, hey, listen, he would have to fight either Otto Wallin in order to get that belt, because the belt will be up for grabs. I'm going to show you guys that's a bold-faced lie. Or he would have to fight Wilder in April, because Wilder's going to be the #1 guy, and this is what's going to happen. Bullshit, and more bullshit. I'm going to prove it to you guys in a minute. Now let's go on to, let's see, the 5:45 mark, and we are going to be finished. This is too easy for me. This is really too goddamn easy. So now at the 5:45 mark, he said Dillian Whyte is trying to hurry up and force Fury's hand before Deontay Wilder comes back off of injury, a suspension. He had a suspension, your medical suspension after the fight, right? Because he got knocked out. So that Whyte can get the belt if Fury retires, because Whyte doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder. Okay, let me explain this again. So at the 5:45 mark, which I'm going to play so you can hear it, he said that Dillian Whyte is trying to hurry up and force Tyson Fury's hand before Deontay Wilder's 6-month suspension is up, right? In April, right? He's trying to force his hand in order to get his hand on the belt to see will Tyson Fury fight him. Speculation is that Tyson Fury don't want to fight Dillian Whyte, so he would end up dropping the belt. Then if he does that, he's saying that Whyte will be able to get his hands on the belt. So he acknowledges that if Tyson Fury retires or drops the belt, he acknowledges at the 5:45 mark that Dillian Whyte will automatically be elevated to the WBC champion, while at the same time before that, he said that Dillian Whyte would have had to fight Otto Wallin, and then he would have to fight Deontay Wilder in order to win the vacant WBC strap. Let's go ahead to this so you guys can hear it. I guess he forgot his lie.
Decides to pull out the Otto Wallin fight, and they citing that he has a shoulder, which means he's going to be on the shelf until March, okay? And so with that said, he's not expected to make a ring return until possibly May. So Dillian Whyte, understanding that the WBC made the move to put Deontay Wilder at #1, Tyson Fury looking to possibly step away and vacate the belt, which means Dillian Whyte will have to go through Deontay Wilder to pick up the belt. Dillian Whyte.
So he said that Tyson Fury may be looking to. I want to hear that part again. Sorry about that.
That said, he's not expected to make a ring return until possibly May. So Dillian Whyte, understanding that the WBC made the move to put Deontay Wilder at #1, Tyson Fury looking to possibly step away and vacate the belt, which means.
So he's saying that the WBC knows that, that Tyson Fury is looking to step away and vacate the belt. So they put Deontay Wilder at #1, just in case he does do that. The belt will be vacant, and then Dillian Whyte will have to fight the #1 guy in the WBC rankings in order to get that belt. This is what he's saying, right? I'm going to show you this is a bold-faced lie.
Dillian Whyte will have to go through Deontay Wilder to pick up the belt. Dillian Whyte decides to pull out the Otto Wallin fight, and they citing that he has a shoulder injury. Now, Otto Wallin and his team, they're upset. Why? Because Dillian Whyte is automatically the mandatory challenger for the WBC title, okay? Even if he didn't fight Otto Wallin, he's already placed in that position. So he runs the risk of losing to Otto Wallin or suffering an injury, postponing his ring return for the WBC title, meaning that it will give Deontay Wilder more time to be able to be in that position to pick up that belt, right?
So you heard that. We ain't got to play no more. Now, according to the narrative, Dillian Whyte is faked the injury to fight Oda Wallin, which I have no proof of that. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I have no proof of that. So now he faked the injury to fight the duck Oda Wallin so that he could fight Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is a more dangerous fighter than Oda Wallin. Tyson Fury beat Oda Wallin. So he's ducking the lesser opponent in order to fight the guy who is the best heavyweight. And he's the number one heavyweight, the top heavyweight in the division right now, Tyson Fury. So he's ducking someone who is lesser of opponent to fight the more dangerous opponent. Okay, so we got that, right? So now he's doing that at the same time. Now this guy who is the number one heavyweight in the division right now at the current moment, I have him at number one heavyweight. He is concocting their plan to, you know what, I don't want to fight Dillian Whyte. I'm afraid of him, shiver me timbers, whatever it may be, right? I'm going to probably retire, which that's a possibility. Who knows? I don't know. I have no proof of that. I'm going to duck Dillian Whyte. I'm just going to vacate the belt because I'm not going to be forced to do anything I don't want to do, right? So this is what he's painting. So Fury is going to drop the belt, and then if he drops the belt, Dillian Whyte is going to have to fight Deontay Wilder. He's going to have to fight Deontay Wilder in order to win the vacant belt. This is some bullshit on top of this. So where am I going? Let's go here. Now, guys, as you can see right here, and now Dillian Whyte, I think I don't show it already. Dillian Whyte is what, guys? He is the intern. He is the current intern champion. The intern champion is a supplemental belt that they made in order to make sure that guys like this, people who own top belts, who have the top major championship belt, has to fight the top guy, which is the intern champion, right? How do I know? Let's go here. Now, this is the definition of what an intern championship is, right? An intern championship is an alternate title that is awarded by the 4 major sanctioning bodies. What are the 4 major sanctioning bodies, guys? The WBA, the WBC, the IBF, and the WBO. And in other combat sports, right? Such as kickboxing, professional wrestling, and mixed martial arts. Occasionally, the champion of a particular weight division, let's say heavyweight division, is temporarily unable to defend his title because of medical, legal, and other reasons that are beyond the competitor's control. Hey, Manny Pacquiao, he decided to take a 2-year vacation or hiatus, when he beat Keith Thurman, and the WBC, the WBA decided that, hey man, listen, you ain't fought in 2 years, dog. What we gonna do, we gonna strip you of this belt and we're gonna elevate Ugas to the WBA champion. They did that. The WBA did that, right? Because the champion, Manny Pacquiao, for whatever the reason may be, he did not refuse, didn't want to, didn't have time to, or forgot that he was supposed to defend his title. 2 years went by, they ended up stripping him, they made him a champion in recess, and they elevated Ugas to the WBA champion. Right? That's how Ugas got the belt, right? Okay, now, I think y'all follow me so far. I got a really smart audience. I think y'all follow me so far. He said, Coach, I have deja vu. We already went over this. Yes, we did.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to John Doe for dropping that $2. Bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
John Doe, you're right. We went over this. Not to this degree, but we went over this, right? But you're right, though. He said, so according to the intern championship rules, it says that once the original champion is unable to return, Tyson Fury, it's rumored has it that he's going to retire and he's going to relinquish the belt. So if he retires or relinquishes the belt, then Tyson Fury, then Dillian Whyte will have to fight Oda Wallin. No, he didn't say that. He said Dillian Whyte will have to fight Deontay Wilder for the vacant belt when Wilder comes back in April or whatever the case may be off his suspension, right? Now, according to this, though, this says something totally opposite of what this brother said, right? It said once the original champion is able to return, at the discretion of the sanctioning bodies concerned, they must defend their title against the intern champion. Who is the intern champion over here in the heavyweight division, guys? Dillian Whyte.
Hey, okay.
Dillian Whyte is the intern champion. So whenever Tyson Fury decides to come back, after his suspension, after his 45-day medical leave, whatever the case may be, when he decides to come back, he's going to have to defend his title against the intern champion. Says nothing here about the intern champion is going to have to fight the number 1 guy. He's going to have to fight the ranked number 20th guy. Because if you go right here, right, guys, Dillian Whyte is not going to be forced to fight Oda Wallin in order to qualify to fight Tyson Fury. Otto Wallin is ranked number 20. This guy's not even a top 10 guy. He's ranked number 20. He's ranked number 20. Right? He's ranked number 20. So, you know, the interim champion, basically what he's saying is, you know, hey, this is not even mandated by the WBC. What do you think? Dillian Whyte is ducking Otto Wallin or not is irrelevant. Believe what you want to believe. That's irrelevant to me. But I want to debunk this lie. Now, as you can see, as it says right here, once the original champion is able to return, the discretion of the sanctioning body concerned, they must defend their title against the interim champion. So if you are a champion in any division, you must defend your title against the interim champion. Right? Or whoever the mandatory guy is, but against the interim champion. According to the interim championship rules, that's governed by what? The sanctioning bodies, the WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO. Who will relinquish their interim title in order to fight for the full world title status. So once a fight is made between Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte would no longer be the interim champion anymore. He will relinquish his title. Why? Because he is going to fight for the full world title. If the original champion, I want you to listen to this. If the original champion cannot return, refuses to defend his title, or transfer to a different weight division, the interim champion is then promoted to full championship status. Let me read this again for people who are slow. Let me read this again for people who lack comprehension skills. Let me read this again for people who believe narratives that are not true because it fits what they already want to believe. It says this right here. If the original champion, let's say if Tyson Fury decides, well, you know what, I don't want to fight Dillian Whyte. He's nobody. He's a bum. He's a no, sir. I'm not going to fight. If the original champion cannot return, if he refuses to defend his title, or if he transfers to a different weight division, I don't see Tyson Fury transfer to a different weight division, being that he's 6'9", 270-something pounds, that'd be a lot of weight for him to lose in order for him to go down to bridgerweight. The interim champion is then promoted. Who is the interim champion? Dillian Whyte. He is then promoted to full championship status. The WBC, however, have begun awarding interim titles to the winners of final eliminator fights, effectively signifying a mandatory challenger position for the full world title. What are the recent ones they imply? This is old. Recent examples include Dillian Whyte versus Oscar Rivas. When Dillian Whyte beat Oscar Rivas, he then became the interim champion. That's how he became the interim champion. And Devin Haney versus Zarul Abdullaev. Devin Haney fought this guy, Zarul Abdullaev, and this is how he became the interim champion in the WBC lightweight division. When Lomachenko dropped the belt, Devin Haney was automatically what? Elevated to full championship status, i.e. this is why they call him the email champion by people who don't like him. Devin Haney was elevated to full championship status because he fought in an eliminator to become the WBC interim lightweight champion. And so when Lomachenko made a decision to drop the belt, he was then elevated to full champion. How do I know? Because the rule says right here, if the original champion cannot return or refuses to defend the title. So when Lomachenko refused to defend his title against the interim champion, Devin Haney, or he refused to fight him, it then said that, and he dropped the belt. He dropped the belt. He was elevated to he was given a designation belt, which was the franchise belt. The interim champion is then promoted to full championship status. This is how Devin Haney became the WBC champion. Shout out to Lil Bullet
Okay.
for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said that Say Fury was the best when he won the belts off Klitschko, minus the WBC. Then he wins the WBC, and they say he's the best without the other belts. So anyways, this is a lie. This right here is a bold-faced lie. There's not 1 ounce, inch, millimeter of truth in this title. or in this video. I watched it twice. And no one sent it to me. I was doing some research, and this title caught my eye, and I listened to it thoroughly. And I took notes right here. To make sure I ain't missing nothing. So I hope I broke this down for you guys. We're going to move on to something else. I just hope that, I just hope that I debunk this shit. I just showed you right here, and you can look this up. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on for a minute, guys. Hold on for a minute. I'm back, guys. I'm back. He says, Coach Williams, are you surprised that Blue is lying? No, sir. I never said I was surprised. I'm just here to debunk it. I'm never surprised. At all. Never surprised. I'm just here to debunk it. Because it's kind of, the reason why I'm debunking it, because it's kind of making Dillian Whyte look like, it kind of make him, kind of putting him in a bad light or whatever the case may be. Dillian Whyte don't need no help with that. But I'm just trying to show how these narratives are being pushed and how this fake news and information gets out there on the internet, and people run with it, and then they adopt it as a reliable source without doing their own investigative work. So it is what it is, right? Now you guys know. So I just to let you know, let me just do a quick recap. Right? Just a quick recap. Now, if you are an interim champion, if you are the WBC, WBA, IBF, or WBO interim champion, right? You are automatically in line to fight for the major IBF, WBC, WBA, WBO strap. If the champion of that belt refuses to defend his title, transfers to another weight division, or cannot return, like Manny Pacquiao didn't return with Ugas. Ugas got stripped, and Ugas got elevated. Or if he refuses to defend the title, Lomachenko didn't want to fight Devin Haney. He dropped the belt and petitioned to get a franchise belt. Then the interim champion, who was Devin Haney at the time, then will become the WBC 4 champion. It's not his fault that the champion, the guy did not want to fight him. If Tyson Fury, according to the narrative that's being pushed by certain YouTube channels, that Tyson Fury is going to retire once he retires, or he's going to duck Dillian Whyte. Once he does that, then the belt will become vacant, and the interim champion will not be elevated. The interim champion will have to fight the number one guy in order to see who's going to, whoever wins out of that will become the champion. This is a lie. If the original champion cannot return, refuses to defend the title, or transfers to a different weight division, the interim champion is then promoted. Like when you're on the job, you get a promotion. He is then promoted to the full championship status. Lie has been debunked. Now let's move on. I hope everybody got that. The lie has been debunked, right? Let's move on. So let's keep going, right? This guy says, if Wilder Fury fight winner was expected, a 10-9, why would Whyte sign up to fight Otto Wallin man position? He was in. You would have to talk to Dillian Whyte. I have no idea. You'd have to talk to Dillian Whyte. I have no idea. Come to your own conclusion. He says, whatever happened to his B sample? Got lost on the Boxing Medical Archives. Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about. Yeah, come to your own conclusion. I have no idea what. Just come to your own conclusion. What I'm not gonna do, I'm not gonna make nothing up though. I'm just gonna show it to you. I just showed it to you, so I'm not gonna make nothing up. Now, how? Now I'm gonna let you guys know how sanctioning bodies work. I think I told you guys. This book right here, I tell you guys, please. I don't listen. This guy Jack Newfield. This is a good book. I tell you guys about this book all the time. Go on Amazon and order this book, The Life and Crimes of Don King, the Shame of Boxing in America. You know what I learned about this book, guys? Do you know how people? This is how boxing works. Show you guys something. This is how boxing works, right? This is what I learned. In order to, I know you're saying, well, how did Wilder lose twice to Tyson Fury, and yet he's still at the #1 position now? Let me show you how this works, guys. Sanctioning bodies take money, bribes. This is documented. In this book, it talks about. I think in this book it talks about the IBF. No, I think yeah, in this book it talks about one of the major sanctioning bodies who was under the payroll of Don King. And what Don King used to do is matter of fact, it's the WBC. Old Mauricio Suleiman's father, R.I.P. to his father. Don King had the WBC under his payroll back in the day. And I have the receipts. Please buy this book. I'm going to tell you which page it's on too. Right? So when Don King wanted to get his fighters in the top 10, he would go get in contact with Mauricio Suleiman's father, who owned the WBC. Allegedly, according to this book, and then the receipts are in here. The receipts are here. And these are interviews that came from primary sources that worked for, and not Don King, but people who worked, reporters, not only reporters, but people who worked for King at the time, and even boxers. Larry Holmes, Tim Witherspoon, Shavers, just direct primary sources. And what these promoters do, what King did was, hey, you know what I'm saying? Look here, baby boy, check this out. I'm gonna shoot you a couple of dollars, right? What I need you to do, I need you to put Shelton Moore, Arlette, Leon Musa, Victor Bada, Bon Scott, Lisa Bells, John Doe. I want you to put all of them in the top 10. But look here, man, why we gonna put them in the top 10? They ain't really did nothing. Here you go, baby boy. Here go 50K. Here go 100,000. Here go 10,000. Here go 1,000. Who got $2? I need you to make sure that my fighters are in the top 10. Why is it important for your fighters to be in the top 10? Because if I have, let's say I'm a promoter, right? New Media Today USA Boxing Promotions. Deontay Wilder, he's a part of my promotion. No, he's a part of my promotional company. Andy Ruiz is a part of my promotional company. Joe Joyce, Luis Ortiz, Joseph Parker, Frank Sanchez, Michael Hunter, Ajit, Kabayal, Hergovich, and this guy right here. Everybody in the top 10 is under contract with me. But guess who is not under contract with me? This guy, Tyson Fury. The way Don King rolled was this. I'm going to have, the more fighters I have under contract, I can control the division. Why? Because Tyson Fury is going to have to defend his title against somebody in the top 10. Guess what? Guess who is, all of these fighters in the top 10 is my fighter. Anybody in the top 10 is my fighter. Don King, this is how he rolled. This goes on in the sport of boxing right now today. Before Don King became a promoter, this what was going on. When Don King was an active promoter, this what was going on. He was an active participant. And even today, Don King is not an active participant like that in boxing. This is what all the promoters do right now today. If you got the bread, you can get ahead. If you got the money, we can make sure shit ain't funny. This is how this brother can lose twice to the same guy and just drop down to the #1 position. This is the PBC fighter, Wilder, and the Ruiz is the PBC fighter. Joe Joyce, I think he's with Frank Warren, right? Luis Ortiz is the PBC fighter. Joseph Parker, I don't know who he's with. Frank Sanchez, I think Frank Sanchez is the top ranked fighter. Michael Hunter, I don't know who he's with. Ergovich, I think he's a top-ranked fighter. I think. So, but anyways, these top 10 fighters, 10 of these, probably 8 of these fighters are connected to, and I don't know who Joseph Parker signed with. Do anybody know who Joseph Parker signed with, right? He says, do they say Fury never defended their title? He defended now. Are these fanboys happy now that Wilder challenge? I don't, you know what, Leon Musa, I don't know if they're happy or not, bro. But I'm just showing you, my main man, how it works. I'm going to show you, my main man, how it works. These sanctioning bodies are bought and paid off by promoters, agents, whatever the case may be. This is how you have your fighter up and down the rankings. This is how this works, right? Halim says Don King is not a crook. Halim, I knew you was coming, brother. I knew you was coming. I was waiting on you, Halim. I was waiting on you. Page 134. Let's hear what Larry Holmes had to say. Is it page 134? Yeah, I think it's page 134. Halim, my brother Halim. My brother Halim. Halim. Oh, bro. So let's look at this, guys. Let's look at this, guys. This is a good book. This is a good book. I advise you guys to buy it. Halim says King is not a crook. Okay? I ain't gonna say he a crook. I'm gonna tell you what Larry Holmes said. Now, this is directly from Larry Holmes' mouth, my brother Halim. This is what goes on in the sport of boxing, guys. Let me go ahead and shout out to Lil Bullet.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that $2 bam super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He says I'm circulating the money around the same people. That's pretty much how it works. That's pretty much how it works. But I want to show you guys, I want to show you the narrative that's being pushed. None of the narratives have been confirmed. I just want to show you, if you don't have confirmation or anything that you're saying, then if you push it as though it is the truth, you know that it's a bold-faced lie, right? But that's neither here nor there. But Halim, I got something for you, my brother. I got something for you. Don't worry about it. I got something for you. I knew you was coming. He says that Neil says Luis Ortiz shouldn't be on any list since he's the most overrated heavyweight. Neil, what's going on, man? What's going on, Neil? Why you talking about King Kong Ortiz? King Kong Ortiz is the boogeyman of the division, Neil. He is the boogeyman of the division. He is the boogeyman of the division. You need to respect that. Shout out to Mr. Calderon.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that $2 bam super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the like button. Now, this is not a dump on Don King. This is what goes on in the sport of boxing. Bob Arum more than likely does the same thing. We got Al Heyman, call Al, Big Fit. This is what goes on in the sport of boxing, guys. If you guys thought that the business of boxing was on the up and up, I'm sorry to say, guys, boxing is pretty much like WWE. You have fighters who take dives in fights. This is true. I could do a whole show on that and just show different things, but I'm not because I don't want to ruin anyone's image or perception of the sport. You have matchmakers for a reason. But when it comes to up and down the rankings, this is how you get on the rankings. If you pay the sanctioning body, whoever the president is, whoever control that, enough money, this is how you get fighters in the top 10, the top 1, the top 2, the top 3, yada, 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 yada. Oh, I have receipts on top of receipts on top of receipts on top of receipts. Now, let's see. Page 133, in December, Don King put Larry Holmes on the undercard of a Roberto Duran fight in San Juan, Puerto Rico, right? The opponent was the mediocre Billy Joyner, and King promised Larry Holmes $1,000. There was no negotiation because Holmes did not have an independent manager to represent his interests. Why? Because Don King was Larry Holmes' manager and promoter. So he got paid twice off of Larry Holmes. He's not a crook. Now, King dictated the compensation because he controlled both ends of the spectrum, according to Larry Holmes. After the fight, he would pay Larry Holmes in cash from his large bankroll that he keeps in his pocket with no official accounting. The reason why people use cash, because they don't want to have any paper trail that money was exchanged. Holmes, this is what he says. Larry Holmes, Halim, my brother, my good brother Halim. Larry Holmes said that just before the fight started, King told him to carry Joyner, Billy Joyner, carry him. Don't knock him out. Try not to knock him out because he needed to fill time in before Roberto Duran was ready to fight on live television. So Don King told Larry Holmes, I need you to carry this guy long enough to buy some time before Duran fight comes on TV, live on TV. This goes on in the sport of boxing right now today. But Joyner was not clued in on a scenario that he's supposed to lose. You know what I mean? He didn't know that he was supposed to lose the fight. Didn't nobody tell him, right? He was not clued in on a scenario for a long, easy fight. Guess what happened? Joyner stung Larry Holmes with punches in the first 2 rounds. Holmes was worried about looking bad in front of the audience, worried about maintaining his unbeaten record, because by him carrying this guy and this guy not knowing what's going on, it's a possibility that Larry Holmes could have got beat, knocked out, or anything. Right? This is what went on. This is documented. Larry Holmes said this, Halim. Now, maintaining his unbeaten record. So guess what Larry Holmes did? Larry Holmes went out and did the total opposite of what Don King told him to do, and he went out and finished Joyner. He knocked him out in the 3rd round, messing up Don King's TV timeline. Guess what guess what Don King did, Halim? He is not a crook. Remember, Larry Holmes was agreed to get paid $1,000, Halim. $1,000. This is what Larry Holmes said. When it came to Larry Holmes getting paid, King peeled off three $100 bills and gave them to Larry Holmes. Not the promised $1,000 that he told Holmes he would get paid on the undercard of Roberto Duran fight. Holmes couldn't believe that the most powerful man in boxing would cheat him out of $700 when Don King was a multimillionaire. Larry Holmes went crazy on King, and the 2 men were screaming insults at each other, and they was about to fight. The argument came close to violence before Don King backed down and paid Larry Holmes the rest of his $700. In this book, Halim, there are receipts on top of receipts on top of receipts doing Don King did this. Don King would promise a fighter a certain amount of money before the fight, and then after the fight, he'll give him 30% or 40% of what he agreed. This ain't about skin color. A thief is a thief is a thief, and a crook is a crook is a crook. I got to call it the way I see it. This is what one brother did to another brother. So much for that brother man shit. The fighter, guess what? This goes on probably in the sport of boxing right now today. Oh, I got some more stuff that I can read you. This is documented. This ain't nothing made up. This is nothing made up. This came out of Larry Holmes' mouth. So unless he's lying, oh, and I got some more stuff too. Mike Tyson, Tim Witherspoon. Oh, I got a whole lot of receipts and documentation of court records. Not alone talking about the federal government as well. But that's neither here nor there. So when you say that, Halim, I kind of look at, you know what? Hold on, let me go here. Where is it? Shout out to my brother Halim, man. I got love for my brother Halim. I never seen a guy who was a fanboy of a promoter. I never seen that before in my life. Never seen that before in my life. I never seen anybody that was a fanboy of a promoter. I don't know. I don't get it. But my brother Halim, now, I want to show you guys something, right? I want to show you guys something. Oh, I got some on my main man, Caleb Plant, too. I got some on Plant. Got to show you guys something, right? Hold on. The old boy got something, right? This is my favorite meme on Twitter. Oh, here we go. When you tell me that Don King is not a crook, this is how I look at you. Notice how the dog is looking, guys. Like, damn, you really believe that shit? Ooh. Notice how he is looking. This is how I look at them. Man, Don King ain't a crook. What? My brother says, come on, coach. Don King is a legend. Yes, he is a legend of stealing from his fighters. He is a legend of stealing from his fighters. Court records show this. Was he great for the fans? Did he give the fans what we wanted to see in the ring? Yes, he did. But was he a crook? Hell to the yeah. G-Man says, Coach, you just hate on Don King because you ain't got that. G-Man, what you say, man? You say I'm hating on Don, man. G-Man. No, I use this as a teaching moment. I use it as a teaching moment, G-Man, to show you guys how dirty the sport of boxing is. Don King was just a character that just came along. But it still goes on today in the sport of boxing. It still goes on today in the sport of boxing. If you love the sport of boxing, you want to see the fighters make the money that they're supposed to get paid. Why? Because these fighters are putting their life on the line in the ring. This is why I'm an advocate for the sport of boxing. This is why I don't like fanboys. Fanboys care nothing about the sport of boxing. They care about the fighter that who they are in love with, and they will ignore anything that does not support their narrative. They get overly emotional. They have an emotional attachment to a fighter, and no matter if they can catch that fighter sleeping with their wife in their bedroom, and the fanboy will say, because I love this fighter so much, I did not see what I thought I saw. It was my wife's fault. It wasn't the fighter. It was somebody else. This is what fanboy would do because they have an emotional attachment to this fighter. But hey, you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. This is what goes on in the sport of boxing. I'm just pointing it out, guys. You ain't got to believe it. You ain't got to like it. You can say, man, F coach. I don't care now what he says. I'm going to leave. I don't want to hear him anymore. You have a right to say that, but it's not going to stop me from laying it out for you. Jonathan, what did say, fam? He said, coach, I said they've been having corruption in boxing for generations, and it's still going on today. Yes. No, Jonathan, you're right about that. That's all I'm saying. I'm just using this as a teaching moment. Don King didn't start this. This was going on before Don King started boxing promotion, and guess what? It's still going on today. If you think that these promoters are some honest, up-and-up businessmen who treat all of their fighters fair, I got some sticky icky. I can sell you that. Well, you know, I can't. You know, I got some sticky icky that I can sell you that as soon as you smoke it, it will teleport you to the planet Mars. That's why I'm not in love with no promoters. That's why when they sit back and say, you know, call Al, big fit, Al this and Al that. I'm like, no. Al is the greatest thing that ever happened. Look at you sideways when you say that. All of his fighters straight and taken care of. But guess what? I got some receipts in here, right? I got some receipts in here that tells me that there's a lot of fighters that had problems with King, but they would not want to go on record to say anything bad about King because King was one of the most powerful guys in the sport of boxing at the time. He would blackball these fighters. These fighters would get threatened by King with physical violence if they didn't show up to certain fights and accept certain payouts. So when you tell me, man, everybody happy over there, they ain't saying nothing about this guy, I look at you funny. And I know that you are not privy to the information that I'm privy to. It's right there. It's really public record. It's no top secret stuff. This stuff that goes on, and it's going on right now, today in 2021. It goes on right now, today in 2021. This is why, you guys, we can watch a fight. We can see a guy clearly got his ass whooped, and the judge would be like, God damn, that was a close fight. And you're like, well, wait, what this judge was looking at? How he came up with this? How he came up with this right here? What this dude was looking at? Wait a minute, this dude got beat. Clearly got beat. Clearly he lost 7, 8 rounds, 10 rounds. This dude was getting the brakes beat off of him. How they came up with a draw? Man, the sport of boxing is corrupt. Yes, you mad at the judges for coming up with the draw, right? But you know what y'all don't talk about? Who paid the judges? Who paid the judges to come up with that conclusion? Tune says Don King, aka Big Red, aka now what am I office house? Tune, shout out to Tune, man.
Hey, okay.
He says, what the brother say? Linus was best. Fanboys or promoters is big on YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. I ain't here to cap for no fighters. I'm not here to cap for promoters. Like this, I mean, remember, guys, I said this before, right? I ain't never seen fighters fans of promotional companies. I've never seen that before. Like, for the life of me, I like fighters. I like the sport of boxing, but I love a promoter or a promotional company more. And I say, listen, I'm finna tell you something. Errol Spence gave us some truth. Errol Spence gave us some truth, and I thought that he was hiding and ducking Crawford back then when he said it, but guess what? Errol Spence was not ducking Crawford or anything. And Crawford is not ducking Errol Spence. I'm finna lay it out to you. Errol Spence said that in order for Terrence Crawford to fight him, he on the wrong side of the street. Matter of fact, let me pull it up, just in case people think I'm making this up. Errol Spence told the truth, though. Shout out to Errol Spence. Errol Spence told the truth when he said that. He said he on the wrong side of the street. And he said that in order for Terrence Crawford to fight me, he gonna have to come to PBC. He's with ESPN. I'm with Fox. He's with I'm with the PBC. He's with Top Rank. He's on the wrong side of the street. And on YouTube, what did you hear? Oh, Terrence Crawford is ducking Errol Spence. If he really wanted to fight him, he never should have signed the contract with Top Rank. If he want, listen, all of the promotional fanboys ran with that story. But it was but what the fanboys don't know, they was led into running with that narrative by the other channels who was promoting that as well. But Errol Spence told the truth, though. Let me see, can I find it? He told the truth. Let me see, can I find it, guys? Should have it in my playlist. Let me see, can I find it? He told the truth. Shout out to Errol Spence for telling that truth. I didn't realize it at the time, but I realized, you know what, he was telling the truth. He laid it out. He laid it out. And this is why we're not seeing a lot of the fights that we want to see, because of this cross-promotional bull stuff. You're on the wrong side of the street, yada, 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 blase, squaze. He's right. Because the same promoters who pay to make sure that their fighters are in the top 10 right here are the same promoters who are going to make sure that they make in-house fights. We're going to make in-house fights. We're not going to do any cross. He says my mic is going in and out. Hold on. My mic going in and out, guys? Hold on. If it is, I don't know why. How does my mic sound, guys? He said, Coach, that's not exactly what EJ said. I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull out the receipt. Okay. I'm going to pull out the receipt. R. West said that's not exactly what EJ said, right? Wait right there, brother. Wait right there. Wait right there. So I'm lying about that. Okay, I'm lying. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Can I find it? I think I saved it. EJ didn't say that. Okay, let me see. Can I find it, my brother? The reason why I don't have it up right now because I didn't even know that I was gonna even be talking about this particular part. Bear with the old boy one moment. Bear with the old boy one moment. I have it. I know I have it because we did a show on it. We did a show on it because somebody said the same thing R. West said. He said EJ didn't say that, and I played the receipt, and the brother didn't say anything. Let me find it. Oh, sorry about that, R. West. I misread what you said, my brother. Not lying. I said exactly, Coach. R. West, I'm so sorry. Brother, please forgive me. Don't jump down my throat. I'm sorry, brother. I misread what you were saying, because of the weed. I'm going to blame it on the weed. But I'm so used to people telling me that, I'm not telling the truth, that I have to show the receipts in order to back up what I'm saying. Sorry about that, R. West. R. West, once again, my brother, I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I'm sorry, my brother. Please forgive me. Still want to pull it up though, just in case somebody come along, ROS. I still want to pull it up though. Still want to pull it up. Anyway, so this is what goes on in the sport of boxing, guys. When you see that certain fighters get certain decisions, a fight that you can clearly see the dude got his ass whooped. And I'm not saying that you guys don't know. We know that the sport of boxing is fixed, corrupt. I'm gonna tell you something else, guys. Some of your favorite fighters. Oh, some of your favorite. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna keep that to myself, guys. I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say some of my favorite fighters. Certain things were not what they seemed to be in certain matches. I would say that. I just go as far to say that. But I'm not gonna say anything. I have it though, guys. I do have it. I keep the receipts now. I do have it. Let me pull it up. Oh, I got that with Sugar Shane Mosley where he testified that he took illegal substances. I got that video there. I'm gonna just look it up. I'll look it up. But anyways, I'm gonna look it up. Robert Brown says, he said, can't blame Don King, it was business. No, man, you know what, man, that ain't, okay, I tell you what. Robert Brown, let's say you have a job, my brother, right? Let's say you work as a contractor or something like that. And you signed the contract or your application when you got hired for the job, right? It said that you was going to make a certain amount of dollars, right? You driving trucks, you doing any kind of job. You have a certain amount a certain agreed upon amount, right? When you finish the job, let's say Robert, I'm gonna pay you $10,000 to fix the roof on my house. We got an agreement. Then once you fix the roof on my house, I give you $3,000. I'm pretty sure you're not going to say, can't blame Coach Malachi Williams. That's the, you can't blame Coach Malachi Williams. It was business. Wow. He said most is fake news on Don King. Okay. Okay. All right, Harleen. He said, Coach, what is the story behind Don King's hair? The story behind Don King's hair is, I forgot the brother name. He was one of the most famous singers at the time. He made Don King's hair stand up. He told Don King that Don King told him to make him famous. As a matter of fact, I can find that. That's right here. I don't want to misquote it. I can find that's right here. Don King's hair. Don King's hair. Harleen say most stories are fake by. All right, well, I ain't. Yeah, it's in here though. I got it in here. Basically, one of the most famous singers at the time, which was one of Don King's best friends. He really loved Don King, and he the one that came up with the idea to make Don King's hair pop up and stand out so he can make him, make him famous and make him a character. You know what I mean? I forgot the brother's name, man. I forgot the brother's name. I got it in here. I have to look for it. It's in the beginning of the book, though. Lloyd. There's a Lloyd Price. I think it was Lloyd Price. Lloyd Price was the one who picked out Don King's hair and gave him the idea of what to do, and Don King been doing it ever since. Everybody that Don King was close to, he crossed them. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. He crossed everybody. So the fighters was lying on Don King. I seriously doubt if Halim know Don King personally. I seriously doubt if he know him personally. Diallo said Spence wasn't telling the truth. He had no problem crossing the street trying to get a fight with Canelo. He crossed the street and the pawn to fight Brook. Well, I think in that situation, because Brook was the champion with another promotional company, he had no choice. And not only that, I won't say he had no choice, but he was the number one contender for Brook IBF strap. So if Brook didn't defend it, Brook would have got stripped, Diallo. So Brook decided to come. Remember, Brook had just lost to Triple G. He came back down in weight after going up in weight to defend his title, and Errol Spence beat him. You know what I mean? So, but I get what you say. But I do get what you're saying, though. I do get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. R. West says, he don't know him personally. Hey, he capped for him like he know him personally, though. I've never seen a guy cap for a promoter in my life. I've never seen that before. That's strange. That's real strange. I never. But anyways, sorry about that guy. Hold on, guys. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Hey, shout out to my brother. Shout out to John Doe. Shout out to John Doe. Thank you for bringing that up to me, brother. I got it right here. Got it right here. Nah, this, as a matter of fact, this ain't even the one. He did a press conference. But anyways, but thank you for giving me that, though, John Doe. He did a press conference. So basically, what I'm saying is this here. So are you guys, Lloyd Price, that's his name, Lloyd Price. Yeah, Lloyd the one made him that. And he made it look like a crown. He said, you're a king, because the name was Don King, so we gotta have a crown on your head, right? That was Lloyd, and then Don King ended up crossing him too. So anyways, that's neither here nor there. But this guy here said, was it Don King's fault if boxers can't read the small print? Anyways, do anybody in the chat have a job? Anybody have a chat on the? Anybody has a job in the chat? Tell me, what do you do? He said, Coach, they tell me that happens on the Boxing Voice, TBV. Yeah. He says on Coach's show, what platform did Brook Spence fight? I don't know, brother. I have no idea. Halim said, is it the boxer's fault? Is it King's fault the boxers don't read the small print? I just gave you a classic example of a promoter telling a fighter, you are going to get paid $1,000. We agree on it. Then, after the fight, I'm going to pay you 30%, $300, of what I told you I was going to pay you. And your answer is, was it Don King's fault that the bosses can't read the small print? I am done. Halim, you have no idea how much of an idiot that you sound like. With all due respect, sir. You have no idea how much of an idiot that you sound like. Anyways, do anybody, okay, Wayne works at a warehouse. My brother Shelton Moore, I know Rob says he's a music teacher. Okay, Rob, let's say my name is Coach Malachi Williams, that's my name, and I own the music school that you work at. My brother, Boxing Hog, he's an electrician in Washington State. Let's say that I am the company that you work for, my brother, and you decided to work for me because I agreed to pay you, or you agreed to accept the certain amount of wages that I said that I was going to pay you. And let's say you do your job, you go do some electrical work for a house, a building, and at the end of the week, my brother, you are supposed to get paid $5,000, $10,000, or whatever. And let's say I decide to say, hey, you know what, man? Remember that $10,000 I said I was going to pay you, Boxing Hog? I'm gonna give you $2,000. Would you say, oh man, that's just the price of paying, that's just the price of doing business? Would you say that, sir? Would you say, oh man, you know, man, that's my fault because I didn't read the small print? Or would you be mad as hell and feel like that I've stolen from you, I robbed you? Anybody? Anybody? I don't care who it is. Anybody? That's all. Anybody? I'm just, you know. He said, I'm surprised nobody said there was a dope boy. Tune, you're a truck driver. I drove trucks for night trucking. Anybody? Tune, let's say I own the company that you work for. Is anybody? Anybody, sir? Would you say, oh, that's just the price of doing business? Oh man, you know, that's my fault. I gotta charge that to the game. That's my fault for reading the small print. That's my fault for reading the small print. Shelton Moore, you are a contractor. That's my fault for not reading the small print. Oh, I'm supposed to get 10 grand. You know, I need this money because I got a wife, I have kids, I have a family to take care of. Oh, but you know what, though, dog? Check this out, though, dog. Yeah, you know, I supposed to got 10 grand. I supposed to got 5 grand. I supposed to got 1,000, but he gave me 300. Oh, that's okay, man. That's just the price of doing business. I didn't read the small print. Receipts on top of receipts. Not something that someone we just decided to write and dismerchify his name. No, we're dealing with primary sources of information. We know this is what one boxer said. This is who had firsthand experience for 10 years. For 10 years. Julio Cesar Chavez is another one. Mike Tyson, Ali. The list goes on and on and on. All of these guys are just lying and conspiring against this guy. But I like to say this. This goes on in the sport of boxing right now today. Name your favorite promoter. Guess what? He's doing the same goddamn thing 9 times out of 10. Shout out to High and Low. Hey, okay. For dropping that $2. Bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He says on the Miami Vice Boxing channel. This goes on right now today in the sport of boxing. Fighters are getting robbed, ganked, and treated any kind of way. This is why you hear me say, I don't give a damn about no promoter. You hear me say, I don't do no dick riding. If you got kids, I'm sorry about that. For no interviews. I don't give a damn if you somebody who been in the industry for years or you got connections throughout the sport and I need to get in good graces with you in order to get certain interviews. The hell with you. I don't give a damn about you. I don't give a damn about who you got connections with. One thing about Coach Malachi Williams, we don't do no capping over here, homie, for nobody. Definitely no promoters, no YouTube channels, and no reporters who may be connected in the industry for years. Care nothing about you. I love the sport of boxing more than I love a particular fighter. I love the sport of boxing more than I love a particular YouTube channel. I love the sport of boxing more than I love a particular promoter, manager, or whatever the case may be. And if I have to kiss your ass in order and accept the narrative in order to be all right with you, that's one relationship I don't want. And I openly say that on this platform because this is how I run them away. This is how you run them away. You intentionally hurt their feelings, if they have any, and you just call it the way you see it. So it'll be known, no, we can't go over there to that dude right there. That dude there ain't gonna push the narrative. He ain't gonna do that. I can't do it. I don't like to see fighters being mistreated. Anytime a dude tell me that it's the fighter's fault that he didn't read the small print, and this man has a wife and kids at home, and he was expecting to get paid a certain amount of money, but a promoter that you love so much decided to beat that fighter out of his money for 10 years straight and threaten that fighter, that tells me a lot about your character as a person. That tells me a lot about your character as a person. To be honest, to be fair, that tells me a lot about your character as a person. To me, you know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. These fighters, man, put their lives on the line. They get beat, they get robbed a lot. I'm not saying pay the fighter more than what he's supposed to pay, but goddamn it, don't pay him less than what he's supposed to get. Don't pay him less than what he's supposed to get. Speak on it. Do not pay the man less than what he's supposed to get. Man has a wife and kids. Shelton, you work for me. You're a contractor. You're a foreman. You're supposed to get paid a certain amount of money every week or every 2 weeks or once or every month. And every time you get your money, every time it's payday, I'm going to pay you less than what you're supposed to get paid. This guy right here, who's this? Joe. Boxing is full of crooks, filled with crooks. I'm surprised you're over here, Joe. I'm surprised you're over here, Joe. I am surprised that you're over here, my brother. Anyways, let's go. Puro Sur Central says, I'll use his advisor's title as a loophole to not be in violation of the Ali Act. Or so I've read. That's a loophole. Shelton says either I quit or I hurt you. No, Shelton. You're not supposed to hurt me or quit. It's the price of doing business. It's the price of doing business, Shelton. I know we had an agreement. I know the reason why you made a decision to work for me because we had an agreed upon set amount that I said I was going to pay you. But if I don't pay you the money that we agreed upon, it's okay. You should have read the small print. It's okay, Shelton. I don't care nothing about you got a wife and kids in the family. That's okay. That's okay. He said, hey, Coach, can you get back to the fake news? Dillian Whyte does not have to fight Wilder and Vacated. Yeah, I don't went past that already. That's been done. I don't expose that already. Dillian Whyte does not have to fight Deontay Wilder in order to have a shot at fighting Tyson Fury next. He does not have to fight that guy. This is facts. I don't know whether, I'm going to be honest with you, my brother. He said, Coach, any news on Whyte's injury on to his shoulder? To be honest with you, my brother, I do not know if Dillian Whyte has a legitimate shoulder injury or not. I do not know for a fact, sir. I'm going to be honest with you, dog. I don't know. I don't know Dillian Whyte personally. And one thing about me, James, if I don't know something if I don't have concrete evidence or receipts to back up what I'm saying, I would never come out and say this is facts, this is true, when I don't have nothing to prove it. when I don't have nothing to prove it. To be honest with you. That's me. You know, when I don't have anything to prove it, I don't know. So I don't know if it's real or if it's not, brother. To be honest with you. I don't know Dillian Whyte. I'm not close to him. I have no reason to cap for him or any of that stuff. This is why you guys, if you've been watching me, the 10 months that I've been on doing this, it's been 10 months for me now. The 10 months that I started my YouTube channel 10 months ago, we have over 7,000 subscribers. You know, shout out to everybody who's ever subscribed. You know what I mean? I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's something that I'm doing right. But you never see me cap for anybody. You never see me, you know, try to kiss ass for interviews or try to get close to one channel who made. I don't do that. I don't do that. You ain't never got to worry about that. I'm not built like that. 47 years old, dog. Betty Jean didn't raise me like that. He say, coach, coach, you had a lot to say about Tyson Fury when the Joshua fight was being spoken about. When did you have facts? He says, what are you talking about? I had a lot to say about Tyson Fury. What are you talking about? What's a lot? Give me something specific. And I can address that. One thing about me, I stand on anything I say. Give me something particular. And we can address it right now. My good brother. Let's see. And I hope you're not a Tyson Fury fanboy. I hate fanboys. If you are a fanboy, I hope like hell that you hate my guts and you get the F off the block. Care nothing about you. Don't like fanboys. Don't want your subscribership. Don't want to be down with you. If you get offended by what I'm saying, more than likely you are the nigga that I'm talking about. White or black or Hispanic, doesn't matter to me. But anyways, give me something specific, brother. And I'll clearly address it. I'll clean it up right now. He says, it's the unbiased content in the delivery you have, brother. He says, they just trying to get a rise out of you, coach. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, but Don King is a legend in the sport of boxing. But this is not really about Don King. I just use certain things as examples to prove a point, to show what I'm talking about. Puro Sur Central says, some of us are misunderstood. No cap. Yeah. It's fine. He says, you were all team Joshua, and then he lost, and now Tyson Fury is the best in your opinion. All right, let's stop right there. Let me address this real good. Anthony Joshua is my favorite fighter in the heavyweight division. That has not changed. I am not team Joshua. I don't get paid by Anthony Joshua. I'm not on his team. Everybody has their favorite fighters for whatever reason. My favorite heavyweight in the heavyweight division is Anthony Joshua. Will I care for Anthony Joshua? No. Now let's address Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight to me, based on he beat Vladimir Klitschko. He won 3 belts, and then he just beat Deontay Wilder twice. A guy who only had 1 punch, and Tyson Fury is undefeated. He's the lineal champion and the WBC champion. And I think he is the only fighter currently in the heavyweight division that has held all of the belts 2 different, not at one time, but he held 3 with when he beat Vladimir Klitschko, and then he got the 1 with the WBC this time here. So based on that, that's my opinion why he is the best heavyweight right now. He said it took Joshua to lose for you to admit that Fury was the best. You said Fury was avoiding him. Never said that Fury was avoiding Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury had arbitration that was going on with Wilder. The mistake that I made, I believe, what Bob Arum said when he said that Deontay Wilder doesn't have a legal leg to stand on. That's a mistake that I made. But as it relates to this Tyson Fury, this question that you're asking me here, no, this is why I said that Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight right now in the division. Is he the best of this era? No, because he has to fight the other top guys. So I hope I clarified that. Anthony Joshua is my favorite fighter, whether he favorite fighter in the heavyweight division, whether he has 20 losses or not. But am I Team Joshua? No. Not a fanboy Joshua, not Team Joshua. And I'm damn sure ain't no Team Tyson Fury. Hope that answered your question. If you like it, cool. If not, cool. Let's keep going. Let's see. Let's see. Let me address the chat. James says, reason I asked Coach about White, because here in the UK, they're saying nothing. So I find it strange. Feel me? Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Dillian Whyte's injury. I don't know what's going on, brother. I don't know what's going on. Alvin says he don't know what he's talking about, Coach. Shout out to if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. And if you're a fanboy, you don't like me to hate my guts, please leave. It's simple. It's simple. It's that simple with me. He says, Coach, we can agree that you're a Josh Taylor fan like myself. Yeah, I am a Josh Taylor fan. I'm a fan of Josh Taylor. I'm a fan of Teofimo Lopez. I'm a fan of Terrence Crawford. I'm a fan of Errol Spence. I have my favorites in East Division, and I can break it down to you. My favorite fighter in the featherweight division, super featherweight division, is Shakur Stevenson. Am I a fanboy of Shakur Stevenson? No. Will I count for Shakur Stevenson? No. But is he my favorite fighter? Yes. What is it based on? It's based on his skill set. Let's move on. In the lightweight division, my favorite fighter is Teofimo Lopez. Why? It's based on his skill set. And Teofimo Lopez, his last 3 fights, he fought, in my opinion, he fought Nakatani, he beat him. He fought Richard Comey, stopped him, and he beat Lomachenko. So based on what he's accomplished, his level of competition, and based on what he's accomplished, until somebody beats Teofimo Lopez, he is the best in that division. Until somebody beats him, and he's my favorite fighter. Let's move on to the junior welterweight division. Josh Taylor is my favorite fighter in that division based on what? His skill set. Because Josh Taylor is the only undisputed, where there's no dispute, not a franchise belt or none of that, boxer outside of Clarissa Shields in men's sports, in boxing. Josh Taylor got it the hard way. Josh Taylor fought in a tournament and he became the undisputed champion. And he won the Muhammad Ali trophy. That's what I based it on. Am I a fanboy of Josh Taylor? No. Would I count for Josh Taylor? No. Let's move on. In the welterweight division, Terrence Crawford is my guy. But guess what? Do I have Terrence Crawford? Let me show you how much I'm not of a fanboy I am. Terrence Crawford is my favorite fighter in the welterweight division. But is he the #1 welterweight in the division? In my opinion, no, he's not. You want to know why? Errol Spence is. Why would I put a fighter, my favorite fighter, below Errol Spence? If I was a fanboy, I would say that, man, Errol Spence is the best thing since hog head cheese, and he'll run through everybody in the welterweight division. I am not saying that. I'm saying that because Errol Spence, he fought the tougher competition in the welterweight division his last few fights, and he is the only unified champion in the welterweight division. That right there is why he is the #1 welterweight. If I was a fanboy, I would not say that. If I was a fanboy. Let's move on. Let's go into the junior middleweight division. The junior middleweight division, my favorite fighter is Jermell Charlo. Do I like everything that Jermell Charlo says out of his mouth? No. But guess what? What he says out of his mouth and his skill set is 2 different things. Jermell Charlo want all the smoke. I like Jermell Charlo because of his skill set. Another one of my favorite fighters, and I have several favorite fighters. Devin Haney is one of my favorite fighters. Tank Davis is one of my favorite fighters. But my favorite at the 135-pound division is Teofimo. And I have several other fighters that are, that I like. But you won't see me count for nobody. Doesn't work that way. And if I have to count for a fanboy's favorite fighter in order to gain a subscribership or to keep him as a subscriber, I'm telling the fanboys right now, please leave. I hate you. don't like you. And I say that every show. I do everything in my power to get rid of the fanboys. Not gonna cap. Can't do it. And that's it. That's how I rate my fighters. And I'm gonna tell you something. How I rate who is the best fighter of an era, he would have to fight all of the top guys in his era, in his division. And once his career is over with, then we can sit back and reflect on it and say, you know what? He was the best of that era. Why? Because he beat this number one guy, that number one guy, this number one guy, that number one guy. He became undisputed. He beat all of the top guys. And I have countless examples I can show you on that. The old school in me taught me how I gauge who is the best fighter and who is not the best fighter. And I know, and it's all subjective to you, right? Some fighters are the best fighters according to certain fans because he know how to make a ham sandwich good. Some fighters are the best fighters of this era because he might have fought one guy 3 times and he beat him twice. Some guy who you know, fans are different. Like, you know, shout out to Franklin Sherry.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
So he dropped me a super sticker. Tune says Tio don't even want to fight on Cammy Bosa. Okay. All right. James, he can say Coach Williams always keeping it real. I try my best. And I do everything in my power. To run the fanboys away. Shout out to my main man, Diallo Huggy. Huggy Bear, what's going on, brother?
Hey, okay.
That's my main man there. He said the era really fight the tougher competition. Mikey was a lightweight. I'm not even counting Mikey Garcia. Yeah, Mikey was a lightweight. We ain't even. Hey, Huggy Bear, I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. When we talk about Errol Spence tougher competition, I am not including Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is a lightweight. Mikey Garcia had one fight. As a matter of fact, I can pull it up and show you. I got the receipts on that. Well, maybe people would say you can't believe Wikipedia, but you know, damn, you know, a man's record is a man's record. If we can agree on the record, then I can prove it to you, right? But you're right about that. He said Brooke was weight drained, coming off of surgery within 8 months. Danny is laughable. I get what you're saying though. Minus Mikey Garcia. Minus Mikey Garcia, he did beat Kell Brook. Terrence Crawford beat Kell Brook as well, but the narrative is, Kell Brook was old, washed up, yada, yada, yada. Crawford don't get credit for that. I get that. I get that. So, but he did fight Sean Porter, and he did fight Danny Garcia, but everybody beats Danny Garcia ass. Shout out to my main man, my big brother, Shelton Moore. Shelton Moore the one to open up my eyes to Danny Garcia. He said, man, everybody beat Danny Garcia ass. Everybody. He said they take turns whooping Danny Garcia ass in the welterweight division. That's what Shelton said. And when I look at his resume, I say, damn, you know what? Shelton said some real shit. Who has Danny Garcia beat in the welterweight division? Nobody. Every time he fought the top guys, he got his ass whipped. So, but I get what you're saying. But Diallo, I say that for argument's sake. That's so I don't want nobody saying, well, he's being biased because that's his favorite fight in the division. So I go out of my way to show that I'm not biased and to do that. You see what I'm saying? I Am Dave said, Coach, Errol is still fighting Thurman's leftovers. But we can all agree that he's that he's the top guys because he's a unified champ. And that's the only reason why I'm giving it to him. But if I was a fanboy, I would say there's only one Terrence Crawford, and he's the best ever. The only way I'm going to know he's the best, he's going to have to fight the other top guys. We're going to find out what my guy, Terrence Crawford, got, what he made of when he fights Sean Porter. I just don't want to hear no bullshit when he beat Sean Porter. If he beat Sean Porter, I don't want to hear nothing about, Sean Porter was washed up. He's fighting Errol Spence leftovers while ignoring the fact that Sean Porter is Kell Brooks leftovers, and Sean Porter is Keith Thurman's leftovers. You get what I'm saying? So, depending on which narrative we want to push, the fighter is fighting leftovers. You get what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I try to stay away from all of that myself. He says, I got Fimo stopping Haney as of right now. I just want to see these guys fight. Melvin Everett says, nah, he beat Porter. I don't know who you're talking about, my brother. This is why I want to see the top fighters fight each other. That's so we ain't got to have no arguments, no disputes. See, how you kill a fanboy is when you say that. Hold on, guys. Bear with me one moment, guys. All right, I'm back, guys. I'm back. But I just want to give you guys just an idea of how I see things. You don't have to agree with it. Sit on back here. I want to sit back and relax today. You don't have to agree with it, but this is how I see things. This is how, because I understand the fanboys, because I used to be a fanboy. But I had to accept some hard truths about the sport of boxing. That a lot of stuff that goes on in the sport of boxing. There's a lot of stuff I can talk about here that goes on in the sport, but half of you probably won't believe me. A third of you are probably going to be maybe in denial, depending on how close your relationship is or what kind of emotional attachment you have to a certain fighter, right? And it might be a small percentage of you that know exactly what I'm talking about. Might be a small percentage of it. But shout out to my brother Huggy Bear. He says, do you think top fighters are going to now shy away from Shakur after that performance this past weekend? Yeah, Shakur Stevenson is a problem. Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson in the same division. He's a problem. I'm on record saying that I don't see nothing special about Oscar Valdez. I don't see nothing special about Oscar Valdez. I'm on record saying that. And I am of the opinion I want to see that fight happen bad. I'm going to be making videos trying to make that fight happen. I hope other content creators do, because if Oscar Valdez is this guy, if he's this guy, I want to find out when he fights Shakur Stevenson. I got Shakur Stevenson stopping him. So I'm just being honest with you, fam, myself. John Mayfield says, I want to see Haney Sr. versus Lopez Sr. Hey, yeah, I talked about that last time. Bill and Teofimo Sr. He says, Canelo Plant 50-50. Canelo not sleeping on Plant and preparing accordingly. Battle of discipline and grit. I got Canelo beating Plant, man. I really do, man. I just think that I just think his skill set is better, and he hit hard as hell. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong, guys. I have been wrong before, and I have been right before. Fact of the matter is, we don't know exactly how the fight is going to play out, and we don't know exactly Will the business of boxing be into play when this fight happens? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know, fam, to be honest with you. Adam says, I gotta see Crawford live over here when he fought Ricky Burns. Oh, you said you got to see him. Joshua fought on Crawford's undercard that night. Yeah, you know what? You know what? I became a fan of Crawford in 2013. Kind of like a year before he fought Ricky Burns. He says, let's hear what you have to say about it, coach. He said, now, if you are a top class, you can get the fights. Yeah, if you're a top class guy, you can get the fights. But, you know, it's still going to be up to the promoters. If it's not in the cards of the promoter, the fight won't happen. I don't care how much these fighters say that they are their own bosses and stuff like that. This is proof that a fighter is not his own boss. You don't see fighters booking their own site venues. You don't see a fighter saying, hey, I'm my own boss. I'm going to fight this guy next. I'm going to pay this guy $40 million, $20 million, and I'm going to book this site right here, pay the site fee, and I'm going to pay the judges and the referees and all that stuff there. None of the money is coming out of the fighter's pocket. The promoter's job is to generate the money. How do you generate the money? The money actually comes from the demand of the public. The promoter comes up, he puts the money up for the fight. If he does a good job in promoting the fight, and if the fans are excited enough about the fight, if it's in demand, the promoter can pretty much say, okay, there's a lot of excitement about it. And guess what? In the sport of boxing, everybody is working together. John, I'm going to break that. I'm going to break this down to you, to together part. He said, what are your thoughts on Ward saying plant by knockout? That's Ward's opinion. Unless he knows something that I don't know. That's his opinion. That's his opinion, but I don't know. That's just his opinion. The only way we're going to know for a fact, John, is unless they fight each other. Right? That's all we're going to know. Oh, we're going to talk about Canelo, because we should be talking about how and when Canelo and Plant can win. Yeah, we're going to talk about them. We know that's the next fight. We're going to talk about them. We ain't going to talk about them today, but we're going to talk about them. We can talk about how we think it's going to end, but, you know. And I got Canelo as pound for pound the best fighter right now. I don't have Crawford there, and he's my favorite fighter in boxing. But, you know, I was a fanboy. I'll make 20,000 arguments like these other channels do. We don't do no capping. I got to call it the way it is, right? Pugilism says, what's interesting is the first part of the fight. I see Canelo in the press conference. From the jump or be economical. It's a tough choice. Canelo is economical. Yeah, Canelo, he wasted the fight, goes on, and then, you know, as the fight materializes, My brother Toon say Canelo isn't going to stop playing. Sweet ass. Hey, let me show y'all sweet ass. Hey, Toon, let me show you sweet ass. Toon, let me show you this, fam. Let me show my dog Toon this here. Toon, have you guys seen this? Somebody sent me this. This Caleb Plant, way back in the day. Way back in the day, I guess this guy was supposed to be a bully. And Caleb Plant grew up in the hood, the trailer parks of Tennessee. Where exactly did he grow up at? Hold on, guys. Let's look up Caleb Plant. I use DuckDuckGo. Let's look up Caleb Plant. I want to make sure I get it right. Sweet hands. Where is he from? Caleb Plant is from Ashland City, Tennessee. So in the trailer parks of Ashland City, this is where Caleb Plant grew up at. Right? You know, we ain't going to talk about Canelo and them right now. But this Caleb Plant getting into a little scuffle with a dude. Apparently this guy, look at Caleb Plant. This is the old video. This when he was a kid. This is a kid. This when Caleb was a kid, allegedly. Well, you could tell he was real young right here, but you know. But some guy right here is supposed to be trying to bully him because he's a white boy in the hood. So this is how it goes. If you white growing up in the hood, this is what goes on. I'm not gonna lie to you. Unless you get the respect of the brothers in the hood and then you become down with the brothers. But old Caleb was scrapping. I think Caleb was boxing in the amateurs too at the time. He was boxing in the amateurs too at the time. The guy pulls out a knife on Caleb Plant. He pulls out a knife and he tries to stab Caleb Plant. This guy, he pulls out a knife and he tried to stab Caleb Plant. As you can see, Caleb is putting a pause on him. I think he was a 10-time champion at the time too. 10-time champion. Yeah, that's Caleb Plant. Say, can we be done now? Yeah, that's Caleb Plant. That's his voice. There you go. As you can see what's going on. This Caleb. Now the guy reaches out and he pulls out a knife now. He pulls out a knife, reaches out his back pocket. So he can't win the fight against Caleb Plant. Now he wants to stab Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant's brother or somebody that's with him is going to hit this guy with a ball. He's trying to stab Caleb Plant now. He got a knife. The brother can't take the L. He's been embarrassed. He's been embarrassed. This dude right here, he's trying to take up for Caleb. They mad at him because he's taking up for Caleb Plant by hitting the guy with the ball. But this guy's trying to stab Caleb Plant after he lost the fade. After he lost the fade, he got upset and tried to stab Caleb Plant. He had a knife. Notice that no one took up for Caleb Plant. None of the sisters, they wasn't upset that the guy pulled out a knife to stab Caleb Plant, but they was upset that one of Caleb Plant's homies or friends hit the guy with the basketball to try to stop him from stabbing Caleb Plant. I am Dave say, Coach, you're using DuckDuckGo, you're ducking. Oh, that's a good one. Hey, man, listen, Mike. Listen, Mike. I am Dave. I got to use that one, dog. I got to use that one. He say, I'm using DuckDuckGo. I'm ducking. Yeah, man. Oh, Caleb Plant, man. Caleb Plant came up hard now. But guess what? Canelo Alvarez came up hard as well. I think Canelo Alvarez probably got about 20 siblings. Canelo turned pro boxing. I think he was 14, 15, something like that. Canelo literally came from nothing in Mexico. He had to fight in order to put food on the table. Kind of like what Manny Pacquiao had to do growing up in the Philippines. Extreme poverty. Caleb Plant came up from poverty as well. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button for the old boy. Pugilism says, boils down to who's going to slip up on their discipline. Okay. The Mr. Ham said, I'm not surprised, Coach. Hood Chronicles. Yeah, man. The bully, the old boy tried to stab Caleb Plant. He threw a knife. He threw a knife to me once too. I don't know who you're talking about. Dude getting his ass whooped. Coach, so the criteria of being unified don't apply for every fight because Usyk is unified. What you say? But out there, they have Fury as the top guy. The criteria is different from everybody. Some people may have Usyk as the number one guy. Some people have Tyson Fury. The criteria is great video. Caleb shows some stones. A knife. That is nobody got mad. Jeff Lucielli, he said, but they ain't mad at the dude pulling the knife. Nobody got mad at the dude that was pulling the knife. Nobody got mad at the dude that pulled the knife. Hey, let me show y'all this again, man. Let me show y'all this again. They never got mad at the guy who pulled the knife on Caleb Plant. The bully, and I grew up in the hood, so I know. You know, the bully, I got bullied before when I was 13. I get it. He says, Coach, do you recommend Rip Fuel or creatine for a fighter? I can't give any recommendations for a fighter, to be honest with you, brother. As long as you take something that's not on the banned list, you know, and whatever, you know, because, you know, different supplements do different things for different, you know, for different people. So, you know, I advise a fighter to take whatever he can take that's legal, that will help him and with his, you know, that would help him with his recovery while training and stuff like that. Nothing illegal. He said that video just convinced Canelo is beating the brace off a Plant. Imagine someone trying that is with Canelo. I'm just saying no, but the dude had a knife on him. But check this out, though. Here you go right here. Here you go. That was a long time ago. Caleb Plant was a kid, man. I think he was a kid. Here you go again. All right, let's put it in this proper perspective. Caleb Plant is being, this guy's trying to bully Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant said enough is enough. I'm a 10-time Golden Glove champion or whatever champion he was. And, you know, he just basically just threw a jab. The bully couldn't fight. You clearly saw he couldn't fight. He was embarrassed that Caleb Plant was beating his ass in Wakanda, and he decided to pull a knife on Caleb Plant. That's what you're seeing right here. Caleb Plant look like he popping and locking. Popping and locking on this dude. Jabbed him again. Buddy, put your hands up. Put your hands up, buddy. Put your hands up. Put your hands up, buddy. He said, you going to stop or you going to keep going? So Caleb Plant is trying to convince him to stop. He's telling him that you can't win. He can't hit sweet hands, but Canelo gonna have his hands full. Canelo gonna have his hands full with sweet hands. You see sweet hands putting them paws on buddy. Okay. You see sweet hands. Canelo's gonna have problems with sweet hands. Sweet hands is dancing around the ring though. He's doing a lot of dancing. He's gonna have to do a lot of this when he fights Canelo. Oh, he can't kick Canelo now. He's not gonna be able to kick Canelo. He kicked, but he caught him with the left hook. Caleb Plant is a 10-time national champion. There you go. He ain't gonna be able to kick Canelo though. He ain't gonna be able to kick Canelo. He said, "Can we be done now?" He's asking the bully, the bully says he's done. The bully says he's done. They're fighting about a hoodie. Pop, he's hit him again. I don't know if he can do Canelo like that. Now the bully pulls out a knife. I don't think Canelo's gonna pull out a knife on Caleb Plant. Now Caleb Plant doing a lot of dancing. Twinkle toes, what they call it. Now Caleb Plant is running. He's supposed to retreat. The guy has a knife in his hand. He has a weapon in his hand, and he's trying to stab Caleb Plant. He has a knife in his hand. Why did he pull out? Why did he put a knife on Caleb? I have no idea. Fight him like a man. You don't need no weapons. You're bigger than Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant friend comes up to help him. Hits him with the basketball. You ain't finna be stabbing my dog with no knife. Everybody mad at this dude right here because he hit Caleb. He hit the bully with the basketball. The bully throws the knife at Caleb Plant. Wow. I think I did a good job commentating that. What do you guys think? You think I did a good job commentating that? That sure make me a commentator. I don't know if these moves are going to work on Canelo Alvarez. I don't know if these moves are going to work on Canelo, right? I don't know. Diallo Huggy says, my money is on Plant just because of this video. Yeah, man. Diallo Huggy say his money is on Plant just because of this video. Yeah, man. Yeah. Pooh Delivery says, power gets neutralized with proper positioning and defense. It's going to be a slow burn of feints until pressure pops the lid off. Okay, all right. Yeah, man, I'm just saying, though. So Listen, Canelo might be in trouble because Caleb Plant, as you see, he came up in the hood. He whooped, you see he whooping the bully. Bully had to pull a knife out on him. And he kicked him in the chest. And he kicked him in the chest. You see sweet hands, man.
To this day.
Y'all see sweet hands. This right here just showed me all I needed to know. He said the one Mr. Ham said the commentary was fighter. The fire. I appreciate that, fam. So all you Canelo Alvarez fans, you just saw sweet hands in action. You just saw sweet hands in action. You just saw sweet hands in action, boy.
To this day.
But you just saw sweet hands in action, dog. You just saw him in action. 10-time national champion. Golden glove. You know, and now he's perfected that Floyd Mayweather style mixed with a little bit of Sugar Ray. If you're a Canelo Alvarez fan, you shaking in your boots right now. That's all I'm saying. Caleb Plant, he been putting it down since way back in the day. He been getting it in, putting them paws on those bullies. You see, the bully was bigger than Caleb Plant. He had more weight than Caleb Plant. Guess what? Caleb Plant, with fancy footwork, feints, and jabs, you know, he was able to maneuver that situation very easily. That's all I'm saying. He was able to maneuver that situation very easily. You gotta be shaking like booty meat right now if you are thinking about betting on Canelo. I just gave you a glimpse of what may happen in the. I just gave you a glimpse of what may happen in the fight. I just gave you a glimpse. I just gave you a glimpse. What I want to know is this: why wasn't nobody mad at the guy, the bully, for pulling the knife out on Caleb Plant? Why wasn't nobody saying no? Like in my hood, would have been like, no, dog, no, don't pull out no knife. Fight that man one-on-one. No, put the knife down, dog. We ain't doing that. No, put that knife down. And listen, in my hood, we fought one-on-one, and we used boxing gloves. In my hood. Now, if it was just one of those real fights, the way, you know what, man? These dudes, sometimes they fought without hands. Sometimes they fought without gloves, to be honest with you. But in my hood, my homeboy G-Man, Dex, and PJ, they had all us young jits in the hood. You know, y'all put the gloves on. This is around the Mike Tyson time, too. Put the gloves on. Anytime any homies in the hood had a problem, we wasn't going to shoot none of that. We got to put the gloves on. The OGs in the hood say, all right, y'all go ahead and put these gloves on. And we had to fight. That's how we did it when I was growing up. We talking about 88, 89, 90. Right there. This is the truth, right? You know, we ain't pulling no, you got to fight one-on-one. That's how the OGs did it in my neighborhood. If you went to somebody else's neighborhood and you didn't have a pass and you got in a fight with somebody else, 9 times out of 10, your ass gonna get jumped. He said, Plant couldn't put him down, coach. Caleb ain't got no power. I don't think he was just trying to put no power in the punches, though. To be fair, Caleb Plant didn't sit on his punches. He didn't sit on his punches back then. He didn't sit on his punches. But you saw the fancy footwork. He saw because he's white. Yeah. Pretty much that's true. Louis James said nobody was mad at that dude with the knife because Caleb was the bully. He stole the dude's hoodie. No, he didn't steal that dude's hoodie. I know you just joking, Louis James, but ain't no white boy, no hood, no bully, no black neighborhood. I ain't never seen that before in my life. I'm just honest with you. But I know you just joking, though. I know you just joking, my brother. Listen, Paul Evans said, Canelo bringing 2 hammers to the fight, no knife needed. He said, Coach, Caleb don't mess up and gave the key to victory. Hey, man, boy, I'm telling you, boy, if you are a Canelo Alvarez fan, you have to be worried right now about what I just showed you. That's all I'm saying. You have to be worried right now. Shelton says, they will, coach. Canelo would get flustered and pull out a knife. No, man. No, man. Boxing Yoda says, Kimbo Slice used to school street fighters, but things were much different in the pros. Yeah, a street fighter would get the brakes beat off of him if he fight a trained fighter. If he fight a trained fighter, he's not going to win. He said, I really do believe this is Canelo's easiest fight. Javon, no, man. Listen, man, sweet hands, baby. Sweet hands. Sweet hands. Listen, I just showed y'all now. I know y'all shaking right now. He said, Coach, Canelo is the real sweet hands. Caleb. I know you're shaking in your boots right now. So shout out to my brother too, man.
Hey, okay.
He said for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, I see Plant outboxing Canelo, but getting robbed or it being a draw. The Floyd Mayweather-Lawler fights told you. You can't beat Canelo on the cards. 2. I just gave you a glimpse of what Sweet Hand's gonna do. 10-time national champion. Just gave you a glimpse. I just gave you a glimpse, man. Just gave you a glimpse. Hey, listen. He says, in that video, Caleb was known as sticky hands. Obviously, he stole somebody's hoodie in his family. No, he ain't steal nobody's hoodie. No, I don't think he stole nobody's hoodie. Alex Soto said, damn, coach, I'm worried for Canelo. Yeah, man. Listen, all you guys who think Canelo's gonna run through Sweet Hands, I just gave you a glimpse of some of what's gonna happen. So this is your opportunity to jump on the bandwagon right now. That's all I'm saying. We gonna talk about this. We gonna talk about this. To be fair, to be fair, you know what I mean? Canelo is a great fighter, but Caleb Plant been doing this a long, long time. 10-time national champion, Golden Glove, Sweet Hands, ring generalship, ring IQ. You just saw his generalship. Oh, Paul Evans said, to be fair. Yeah, man, that's all I'm saying. I don't know who gonna win, but that's all I'm saying. Shout out to Shadow Ghost.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Oh, man.
Playtime's over, boy.
Shadow Ghost say Plant better dance and run because if he don't, Canelo gonna beat the race. Hey, listen, Shadow Ghost, man. I just showed you a taste of what is to come. Pause. November the 6th. I just showed you a taste. I know you're worried right now. Shadow Ghost. I know you're shaking right now. I understand, my brother. I just showed you. The brother was getting beat so bad, he had to pull out a knife on Caleb Plant. He had to pull out a knife on Sweet Hands. I just showed you the man had to pull out a knife on Sweet Hands. That's how sweet the hands is. The hands is so sweet that when he gets in front of his opponent and he hit and not be hit, when the opponent see that he can't really hit Caleb Plant, they pull a knife out on him. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm He said, Alex Soto said, is Plant cherry picking Canelo? Wait a minute. I ain't never heard of that one. Wait a minute. Caleb Plant cherry picking Canelo? So are you saying, okay, here you go. This is gonna be the news story. Breaking news. I'm finna give you a Blue Blood Sports TV headline. Breaking news. Sources say that Caleb Plant cherry pick Canelo because he sees something. Now, Caleb Plant grew up in the hood. There's a video circulating on Twitter where you can clearly see Caleb Plant displaying phenomenal boxing skills over someone who is taller than him and bigger than him. This guy was the bully in the neighborhood. Caleb Plant was beating the guy so bad that the guy pulled out a knife on Caleb Plant. Sources say that Canelo Alvarez is thinking about backing out of the fight after this video has surfaced. That's going to be I'm telling you right now. Telling you right now. Oh, shout out to my brother Rebuttal Entertainment, man.
Hey, okay.
He says, Coach 101 and graveyard pick. Who you want to fight? And after that, he said, who you want to fight? And after that, I'll break loose. No gloves from the 5th grade to the 11th grade. I'm gonna tell y'all the 2 story. We're gonna wrap it up, but I'm gonna tell y'all the 2 story. He said, Coach 101 and graveyard pick. Who you want to fight? And after that, all hell break loose. No gloves from the 5th grade to 11th. I don't know. He said, pick you want to fight. Then I don't know. I don't know, my brother. I don't know if I'm trying to understand the question. He said, Coach, did you know that martial arts, Bruce Lee was Hong Kong boxing champion? No, I didn't know that. Shout out to Jesse.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that $2. Bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, Coach, Triple G read up with the zone to unify with Boo Boo? Question mark. I have no idea. Coach Caleb Plant. I have no idea, Jesse, if he, He said you didn't show the part where Plant was pop locking the jab. Yeah, I did show that. I showed the whole video. I showed the whole video. I Am Dave said sources by Blue. Facts. Listen, I'm telling you right now. Sources say that Canelo Alvarez is thinking about pulling out of the fight with Caleb Sweet Hands Plant because he saw a video where Caleb Plant, 10-time national champion, 15-time Golden Glove champion, was putting them paws on a bully in the middle of Wakanda in the hood in Tennessee. And he saw how fancy the footwork was way back then. And he is now having second thoughts on fighting Sweet Hands. This is a shame because Canelo Alvarez is receiving his highest payday of his career, while ignoring the fact that Caleb Plant is receiving the highest payday of his career as well. He's receiving the highest payday of his career. And then you're going to see people in the comment, facts, Blue, facts. Yeah, Canelo, he always been scared of real competition. I'm finna tell you what it's gonna be. Just giving y'all heads up. So if you see it, you automatically know. He said we went to the graveyard to fight, and you had to pick who you wanted to fight. If the man got beat, too bad. All hell broke loose. Oh, okay. Yeah, in the graveyard? Damn, that's a hell of a place. That's a hell of a place to fight some goddamn body. In the graveyard? Damn, I don't know if I'm going to the graveyard to fight nobody. What, we going to fight to the death? Anyways, let's do this, right? Let's do this. Let's do this. Halim say, Coach, send that video to Blue Bloods. I might do that. I might send it to him, direct message to his Twitter, to his Instagram page. I might do that. I might do that. Shout out to James Hickey, man. I might do that. I might do that. Sources say, though. Sources say, now remember that. Anytime you see a headline that say breaking news, sources say, this is sensationalism, right? I went to copywriting school. When people think of a copywriter, they think of copywriting a book. I'm not talking about copywriting, owning the copyrights or something. COPYRIGHTS. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about copywriter with the W. Writing, right? You have, sensational headlines. You have curiosity headlines, stuff like that. A lot of the stuff you see coming from different channels, they use a lot of curiosity headlines and stuff like that. Spark your interest. It does get clicks. It works. It does work. The tabloids use it too. Tabloids, stuff like that. Anyways, Let me go ahead. Punch Perfect Boxing says sources say that Canelo Alvarez had a small knife concealed when he slapped Caleb Plant. That's what caused the cut. Hey, you know what? Hey, I didn't even think about that. But shit, guess what though? Sources say. Here you go. Here you go. I'm finna give y'all oh no, I am Dave. Exposed. Hey, I'm finna give y'all the true story. 1988. We going back now. 1988. I used to date this girl, but her name was Ayana. I'm not gonna say her last name. Ayana, if you're watching this video, you know who I'm talking about. 1988, I was dating Ayana. This was I was in junior high school at the time. Today they call it middle school. When I was going to school, it was called junior high school. 8th and 9th grade junior high school, right? And the prom was coming up. And of course, you know, now the way school is structured in Florida, 9th, 10th, and 11th, and 12th, 9 through 12 is high school. Back in the day in Florida, it wasn't like that back then. 10th, 11th, and 12th was high school. Back in the day, when I went to school, right? You follow me? Got that from Professor Griff. Shout out to Professor Griff. Now, my girlfriend Ayana, right? I ran track when I was a little whippersnapper. Back in 88, right? I ran track when I was a little whippersnapper, right? And every Thursday we have our track meets. You know, once we finish track, we go back to the school. I used to give Ayana a kiss every night after after the track meets, right? On the side of the bus. She even took me to the parking lot because I know when we go back to the school after the track meet at nighttime, your parents pick you up or you ride with somebody to get back home. So she liked me so much. We were so in love with each other. So I thought that she took me to meet her parents in the parking lot when they came to pick her up after track meet. True story. Now, I was in the 8th grade. She was in the 9th grade. And they had the 9th grade prom. An 8th grader could not go to the prom unless a 9th grader takes you. So my girlfriend at the time, Ayana, was going to take me to the prom. I used to hold her books and walk her to class every goddamn day. In my school, there was a hallway where everybody met at. I was proud. I used to be smiling. Now my gear was not up to par. I had like 3 pair of pants because that's how poor we was. I had like 3 pair of pants that I wore the entire school year. I had 3 pair of pants and 5 pair of shirts. And I used to like mismatch each shirt with the pants, rotate the shirts with the pants, all throughout the year. Later on in the year, I ended up buying another shirt, right? That summer, I worked at a pizza company, and I used to put flyers on the door in order to make enough money to buy me school clothes for the year. So now, walking Ayana to class every day, right? You got that. I'm holding her books, right? Check this out. One day, I'm sitting in the hallway waiting on my baby, Ayana. Waiting on my baby, man. I'm sitting there with my boys. Now, I'm looking jacked up. I got these same ragged-ass pants I've been wearing in rotation, and they tight as hell. I have some turfs. I had some shoes that called turfs, and I was really good at taking care of my clothes because we was poor. So I was really good. I had some white turfs, yada, yada, yada. Everybody in school was wearing Feli's, Adidas, Chuck Taylors, you know what I mean? Buffalinos, Bucks, Nikes, Jordans. I couldn't afford that because all them dudes was the dope boys in the school, and I was just an old poor little kid. You know what I mean? My mother was working at a shrimp packing factory at the time, and she was barely making enough money to pay the rent. One day I'm sitting in the hallway, right? Ed is walking. There's a dude named Ed. I'm 5'6", not that tall, right? Ed was like about 6 feet tall, 5'11", something like that, right? I'm waiting on my girl, right? And walking down the hallway. Guess who locked on? Guess who he walking with? He walking with my girl, Ayana. They locked arms like this. Ayana is walking with Ed. Ayana is carrying her books. Now, this is my girl. Ed stole my girl. They walking down the hallway where everybody meets at, right? Waiting on my baby. Ayana is walking with Ed. Ed is looking at me like this, nobbing his head up and down, like, yeah, nigga, I took your bitch. That's how he looking at me. He giving me that, yeah, I took your girl, nigga. Ayana's walking with her head up like this, like, you know how you ignore somebody and you're trying to talk to a girl and she got her head looking like this, like, boy, please get out of my face. I'm not trying to talk to you. This is how she was looking. She was looking straight ahead, not paying me any attention. Ed got my girl. I'm sitting there looking like this. My mouth open. I'm in disbelief. Damn, I just walked my girl to, oh yeah, this 2 weeks before the prom. 2 weeks before the prom. She break up with me. I go to class. I can't even think straight. Social studies was the class. I can't even think straight. I'm like, what the fuck going on? Ed don't walk my girl to class. She holding her books. What the hell? What happened? I was just walking with her yesterday. I'm sitting there looking like, mouth open, and looking at my girl, looking down on me like, yeah, nigga, I got your bitch. Like that, right? Ayana like this, walking straight, they ain't paying me no goddamn attention. The bell ring, we gotta go to class. I'm in class, I can't think straight. Tears in my eyes. True story. Tears in my eyes. Tears in my eyes. The bell ring, I know Ayana's routine. When the bell rings, she's gonna go to her locker. She's gonna go to her locker. I gotta get to her because she's gonna go to her locker, swap out the books that she needs to go to the next class. I immediately run to her locker. She comes to her locker, right? I'm like, Ayana, baby, what's up? What's going on? Tears in my eyes, guys. This is a true story. Why are you walking with Ed? Guess what she told me? Shout out to Puro Sul Central.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that half a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Guess what she told me, dog? She looked me dead in my eyes. I said, Ayana, what's up? Why you walking with Ed? She said, I just don't want you no more. And walked off. Nigga, I was devastated. 2 weeks before the prom, dog. You don't do a player like that. 2 weeks before the prom, this is my first girlfriend. This was my first girlfriend. We dated from 87 to 88, which went into the next school year. And 2 weeks before the prom, Ed took my girl. She broke up with me. And then when I confronted her at the locker with tears in my eyes, she said, I just don't want you no more. Bruh, imagine the embarrassment. Imagine the shame. I was hurt. Shout out to the Queen, Nick Rich. Nick, I was hurt. I was devastated. At that point in time, I told myself, he said, you didn't have the juice, coach. No, at that point in time, I told myself, I said, you know what? When next school year start, I would not be wearing these same 3 pair of pants that I had on all school year. I'm gonna make sure that my gear was tight, my clothes was up to date. And when the next year started, guess what? I had no problem getting females. The moral of the story is this. What does this have to do with boxing? Nothing. But I know what you're saying. Coach, what does this have to do with boxing? Nothing. It has nothing to do with boxing. I just wanted to tell y'all that. 1988, Ed stole my girl. Guess what? Me and Ed is still friends right now to this day. Took my girl. Guess what? I haven't had a girl taken from me ever since. I mean, I lost some. No, you know what? That ain't true. I had one more taken from me. But that was peculiar circumstances. I ain't gonna get into that. I'll tell y'all that story. I'll tell you that story another day. I'm gonna say that for another day. Cause I lost another girl at 21 too. At 21, I lost another girl. But that ain't got nothing. But I ain't gonna get into that right now because they ain't got nothing to do with boxing. But I just wanted to tell y'all that. The next year, see, back then, guys, the girls wanted the dope boys. They wanted the guys who had the clout. If he was a football player, basketball, they wanted the star players. They didn't want no losers. I was a loser at that time, apparently. Listen, I'm just being honest with you. I'm keeping it real with you guys. I'm keeping it real with you. 3 pair of pants I wore the entire school year. I had 1 pair of shoes, some turfs, and I had some USA 800s or something like that. And I had 3 shirts. I had 4 shirts, and one of the shirts, I had a polo shirt. One of the shirts had the alligator on it. I had an alligator on the shirt. I'm just being honest with you. This is junior high school. I said, you know what? This shit ain't gonna never happen again. I've been a player. I've been on point ever since. I've been on point ever since. But I'm just saying, back then, that's what they like. The guys who had the fresh gear, the fresh clothes, that's what they like back then, right? And if you didn't have none of that, you wasn't popular or nothing like that, you can forget it. You can forget it. So it's safe to say that, without getting too much into the details, it's safe to say that I did what I had to do in order to make sure that when I went to my 9th grade year, I didn't have to worry about losing no more girlfriends due to my lack of swag, me being a loser, or me not having my clothes up to par. I just go as far to say that. I haven't had any trouble ever since. Now at 21, I did lose another female, but that's something else. That's something else. I'm just saying, I don't know how it is now, but that's how it is. That's how it was back then. 2 weeks before the prom, guys. 2 weeks before the prom. So anyways, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with the old boy, man. Shout out to Ed who stole my girl back in 88. Shout out to Ed. And we still friends right now today. Me and Ed. I was mad the whole rest of the school year behind that. He said, Blue Boy he said, blood box and coast was lacking on his back. Man, listen here, man. Hey, Shut, he stole my girl, man. I had tears in my eyes, though. I can't even lie. I had tears in my eyes, though. Was broke, we ain't had no money. I had tears in my eyes. I ain't gonna even lie, though. You know what I mean? Right now, she don't look too hot right now. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. The old boy looking right, though. The old boy looking right. She don't look too hot right now. So, anyway, that was a long time ago. I ain't gonna hold that against them, but I'm just saying, though, I was hurt back then. What does this have to do with boxing? Nothing. But anyways, Caleb Plant was throwing them paws back then, guys. And Canelo might have some problems to need to worry about. All right, guys. So anyways, man. Hey, what Retro said? He said, shit, but hell yeah. Coach, did you listen to some rap trans, man? Hey, you know what? I did, dog. I did. Back then, right, let's see. New Edition had dropped Any Heartbreak album. They had dropped Any Heartbreak. You had Al B. Sure was out with Night and Day album. You had Bobby Brown. Well, Bobby Brown had no drop King of Stage in 87. In 88, Bobby Brown came out with My Prerogative album. Yeah, man, bro, all of that. Levert, All Season. Bro, oh man, bro. Hey, you bringing back flashback. Bro, I cried for a whole week, dog. I ain't even say a lie to you, dog. I'll cry for a whole week, dog. Hey, this is a true story. Now, I'm telling y'all, now don't tell nobody now. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Hey, they're going to come out with a video. Sources say that Coach Malachi Williams of New Media Today USA Boxing was crying because he lost his girl back in 88. Hey, how you been? Sources say. Now, y'all don't tell nobody now. We're going to keep this secret amongst us. Don't tell nobody. Nick Rich, don't say that to your husband. Hey, Diallo Huggy Bell, don't say that to nobody now. Hopefully nobody else see my confession of a Mac, slipping on his pimping. Hopefully nobody see this confession, right? This between us. Don't say that to nobody now. Keep that on the low. Hey, oh my God, bro. Listen, but I didn't know Ralph Tresvant came out in 90, so I wasn't playing Ralph Tresvant. That Billy Ocean suddenly, oh man, bro. I would listen to The Bard, Stay With Me. I was listening to I'll be sure. You know, Key Sweat. Oh, Key Sweat was hot too. I want to go outside in the rain. His rendition of the Whispers. I think he's not the Whispers, but what's the old school group that made in the rain, go outside in the rain? I listened to that song about 20 times. I listened to that song about 20 times, though. I ain't gonna even lie to you, though. Make It Last Forever. I would listen to that about 15, 20 times. Who else is out? Sign Your Name Across My Heart. Terrence Trent D'Arby. You name it, I was listening to it. Nigga, I was hurt. Shout out to Louis James.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over.
Hey, man, look here, man. Hey, look here, man. Yeah, Troop. I was listening to Troop. Yeah, man, Keith. That's why I be banging. I said, if you old I'll Be Sure looking ass nigga, or if you old Keith Sweat, Make It Last Forever, I'm banging on that because I was on that back then, though. I was on... Hey, Blood, I talk about it because I experienced it. That's why I can talk about it, dog, because I experienced it, though. I experienced it, though. I'm telling you, though. 2 weeks for the prom. Oh, yeah, Guy was out. Yep. Guy was out. There was some bad boys out. Tracy Spencer, she was out. You know, Nita Baker, Sade. I'm trying to think who all the hot groups. You know, Levert. I said Levert. Shoot. It was some hot groups back then. It was some hot groups back then. Yeah, man. Oh, he said, MC Shed left me lonely. Hey, listen. Rap. Let's see. What's my main man name? R.I.P. to his brother. Biz Markie. He came out with You Got What I Need. You know what I mean? That right there, bro. Every love song, I listened to all of them that year, bro. Anquinette came out with a song called I Will Always Be There For You. Oh, bro. Nigga, I was devastated, bro. Hey, I wanted to fight Ed, but I couldn't whoop him. Ed would have beat the brakes off of me. Ed would have beat the brakes off of me, dog. I promise you. I wanted to fight him, but I knew it was a losing battle. I knew it was a losing battle. You know what I mean? I said, I want to fight the nigga, but god damn. I lost my girl and I'm gonna get my ass whooped. I was trying to rationalize how can I overcome the shame of an embarrassment. And I quickly came to the conclusion that this will be a new lose-lose situation. That if I try to fight this guy, he gonna beat my ass, and I'm gonna lose and I lost my girl anyways. So I say, man, the hell with it. I just charged it to the game. Hey, Retro. I just charged it to the game. Hey, man. Yeah, man. Crisscross wasn't out back then. Hey. What you say, brother? He said, Coach, back then was the days. Yeah, back then was the days. He said another bad creation. No, another bad creation. They came out later. The Boys was out. The Boys was out back then. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, man. The Boys was out back then. Dial My Heart. Let's see. Lucky Charm. All that was out back then, dog. All that was out back then. Still about Teddy P. Yeah, Teddy P. Yeah, I wasn't. Teddy P. Teddy P was before that, though. I'm trying to tell you, though. So, anyways, again, what does this have to do with boxing, guys? Nothing. But I just want to say that with you guys, man. I want to say that with you guys right quick. Anyways, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with the old boy. Let me go ahead and give everybody a shout out, man. You know how we do it, man. Newbie to that USA Boxing. Don't beat me that. See you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But before we go, let's give everybody a shout out. Shout out to Haleen.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Adam Beanie Smith. What's going on, fam?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to James Hickey. What the lick read?
Hey, okay.
Saul T. What's happening?
Hey, okay.
Dr. Hook. I just shared my story. Now, let me let you guys know. I'm going to let you know something now. Keep that on the low. Don't tell nobody. This between us now. I'm trusting y'all. Y'all my family. I'm trusting y'all. Keep that on the low. Don't say nothing to nobody now. Don't say nothing to nobody. Just keep that on the low, guys, okay? That's between us now. I'm trusting y'all to keep my secret, okay? Hey, shout out to Saul T.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Dr. Hook.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Rob, Real, Shows.
Hey,
Shout out to my brother Retro Boss and the documentaries. Please subscribe to my brother's channel.
okay.
Shout out to Bon Scott.
Hey,
Shout out to Nick Rich. Nick, salute. Don't tell your husband now, Nick. Don't tell your husband.
Hey,
Shout out to Puro Sur Central. Diallo Huggy Bear, what's going on, fam?
Hey,
Shout out to Conshonery. Shout out to Will. Shout out to Will, man.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to what's my brother name? Shadow Ghost for stopping through. Shout out to Shadow Ghost, man.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to James Hickey.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to my brother Shelton Moore, man. My big brother Shelton, man.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to the one Mr. Ham.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Arthur Hawkins. Drumming for life. For life.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Boxing Yoda, man.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Paul Evans. What's happening, Paul?
Hey,
Shout out to Ava.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Bon Scott. Shout out to my brother Diallo Huggy Man, aka Huggy Bear.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Puro Sur Central. What's happening, bro?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to my brother Jeff Luciana. He said Coach was light skinned for a week. Yeah, probably about 2-3 weeks. Took me a while to get over that one.
Hey, okay.
Halim, shout out to Halim. Shout out to Peter Vard Arts.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to James.
Hey, okay.
Guy was out too. Guy, Piece of My Love. You know what I mean? What the other song was? Goodbye Love. Oh, good. Oh man, oh bro, I'm having flashbacks right now. You know, let me stop for a relapse. Now I don't want to relapse now. You know, that was 33 years ago. I don't want to relapse. That was 33 years ago. I don't want to relapse. Anyways, shout out to Fred.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to the one Mr. Ham. Shout out to Arthur Hawkins. Shout out to James Hickey. Shout out to Anthony Dilly. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Bon Scott. Shout out to Louis James. What's going on, bro?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Michael Knight of the Night Riders. Shout out to Conshonery. Shout out to Drumming for Life. Shout out to David. Shout out to who else we got? Shout out to Fred John. Shout out to Fred. Shout out to who else we got? Miguel, what's going on, fam? Shout out to Oli Muhammad. What's going on?
Okay.
Shout out to who else we have? Jeff Luciana once again. Shout out to I don't want to skip. Shout out to Dr. Hook.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to let's see who else we have. Rob, Real, Shows.
Hey, okay.
Anthony, what's going on, fam? Anthony Dilly, what's going on, fam? My brother Rebuttal Entertainment, man. Shout out to the Rebuttal, man. My brother Lewis over there, Rebuttal. Shout out to Light Skin Lou. Light Skin Lou. I would have hated on you if I'd have knew you back in school back then, and I would have hated on you hard back then. Light skinned dudes got all the females back then. It was rough on the player. Well, after that year, it was all gravy though. After that year.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Pugilism. Shout out to brothers out there in B-More too as well. Shout out to them brothers, big boy, them boys out there in Texas, man. Shout out to Texas, man, Atlanta. Shout out to LA, Baltimore. Shout out to everyone. And shout out to everybody in the UK, man.
Hey, okay.
Let's see. Who else we got? Shout out to my brother Jeff Luciana, Bud Scott. Let's see. Shout out to G-Man. Shout out to G-Man. Salty. I think that's it, man. I think we got everybody, man. I think we got everybody. Now, remember now, don't tell nobody what I just told y'all. Keep that on the low. That's a secret that I shared to you guys. Keep that on the low. Don't say nothing to nobody now. This happened 33 years ago. Not 33 years ago, 33 years ago. Okay? So don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. Okay? Don't worry about that. 33 years ago. I'm still in recovery right now. I'm still in recovery. Fighting to get over it right now. But just keep that on the low. Don't tell nobody. Now there's going to be a video out tomorrow. Sources say. Remember now, I'm giving you tomorrow's headlines today. You know, I'm giving you up to tomorrow's headlines today. Sources say that back in 88, you know, a young tenderoni by the name of Ayana broke Coach Malachi Williams' heart. And this is why he is making hateful videos on the Alphabet Boys, the LDBC, because he know that we are true players who are on top of our game. This will explain why he has such a dislike for fanboys. He don't like fanboys because he's so a female by the name of Yana broke his heart 33 years ago, and now he is obsessed with hating on fanboys. This is gonna be the story. Shout out to Wayne Love Peacock, man. Hey, this gonna be the headlines of Friday. Sources say. Breaking news. Breaking news. I'm telling y'all right now, if you see any headlines, breaking news. Sources say, I'm telling you what it's going to be. So much. Okay, I got it. All right, time out. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know, man. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't keep it all the way boxing through the entire show, guys. I was just having a flashback. That's all, guys. I promise I'll stay on cold tomorrow. Shout out to Teach as well.
Okay.
Shout out to Teach as well, man. James Hickey, what you say? Breaking news. Coach Valley. Oh, I don't give the fanboys ammunition. They're gonna be coming over here now. But anyways, keep that on the low. Shout out to my brother Chick.
Okay.
Keep that on the low, man. Keep that on the low. Don't tell nobody now. Don't tell nobody. Boy, Scott say, don't worry, coach. She went Drew the midget now. Oh boy, y'all need to cut it out, boy. Y'all need to cut it out. Y'all need to cut it out. Other than that, man, it's that boy Coach Malachi Williams, represent for New Minutes Today USA Boxing, man. See you guys tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Don't meet me there, beat me there, man. Much love to everybody in the chat. If you want, shout out to everybody on Facebook, shout out to everybody on Twitter, man. Much love. I love you guys. See you guys tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Holler at you guys tomorrow, guys. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.